Every Thursday, the scene is set in the realm of thoughts where minds are met. They're the thinkers with brains on the brink. Every Thursday, they're doing a thing with that darn kitty as the fearless lead that fought through by her side. They plant the seed with Dorcas guiding through dungeons deep, and Grey Coupe spreads it on steep. Emo's clutch goes like magic in the air to press Hydra's expertise beyond compare. Charles manages the box office with grace, while other guests add to the lively space. In a world of thoughts where minds collide, the thinkers gather their wits as their guide. From deep contemplation to laughter's embrace, every Thursday is their special place.
Hello, welcome to the special place. Oh, everyone else is still muted.
Bum, 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 bum.
Galente has recently aged.
I have.
It has
I
been
have.
decided. So, happy birthday, Galente.
Thank you, thank you. I'm officially 973 years old.
Not a
Don't
day
look
over
a day over
900.
950.
You know, I'm doing all right.
Mm.
They're lying
Maybe
to you.
Well,
You
congrats,
look
sir.
exactly that old.
My hairline is exactly that old, yes.
Did you have more cheese balls?
No.
Oh.
Cheese balls are a rare occasion, hence why it was perpetuated in perpetuity. However redundant that statement may be.
Well, happy birthday. And it's you
Thank
still have, like I've told you, I said he has a whole week to celebrate. Where's Charles? Is he dead? We would,
Of course not.
yes, we would totally have a think, and I would start it with a smile on my face if Charles was dead.
You know
Yes.
nothing
Wow.
can kill the Charles. Come on.
So I woke up in quite a foul mood, but I'm very happy to be hanging out with my friends here, and you guys are making me feel better. So thank you for that.
Well,
Hi,
we
chat.
care about you very much, as well as chat does.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P.
Mhm.
Charles. Yeah. That's why I woke up in a bad mood, because I was just like, oh, there's no Charles. No, Charles might be asleep. He's quite what you call it. He's been quite busy. So today's topic is a bit scary, guys. It's the marketplace of ideas. What did you think we were gonna do when you saw this? This just finally got him.
Make jokes about the
Just make
price of
jokes.
a thought.
Yeah.
Any for your thoughts?
I happen to kind of throw it out there, and I know that me and Charles are completely on opposite sides on this one. So I was hoping he was going to be here. I wanted to have a
Fine.
spirited disagreement with him.
About?
He is not so open to the marketplace, but I want an open marketplace.
I think I might be with you on it, but I mean, exposing yourself to the crap that can be in the marketplace is
Can be
I
pretty
just have
black
faith for
pillar.
it. Yes, I think that's basically been my experience this week. I think that helps. Like a person that is emotionally so fragile, maybe I should expect everybody else to keep me safe in the marketplace of ideas, but at the same time, no, I think I'm with Gray on this. I would rather see the bad ideas. I want to see them and go lol and mock them, but sometimes it's like, is it worth even interacting? Like, are you obligated to interact with the bad ideas?
As somebody who might be taking more of the peanut gallery aspect of this conversation, I do see value in the pointing at bad ideas and being like, well, lol. Because although like you might have people who will hear a bad idea and be like, this doesn't sit well with me, it does really help to have somebody who's willing to piece through the argument and find what's not actually lining up and articulate that so that somebody else might be able to latch on to why they have issues with arguments being presented, even if they can't articulate them themselves. If they're coming from the same principled position, they'll be like, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, a lot of the time, yeah, Dorcas.
No, you finish your thing and then we'll get to mine.
No, a lot of the time, the marketplace of ideas is not, it's not interacted with in good faith. Like people aren't there for that. They aren't there to figure out the best solution. They aren't there to question themselves. And those are but that's the value of it in, I suppose, in the Overton window, in what's acceptable. Because then there are some people, there is the opportunity, but a lot of the time, I guess the problem that we have is when you get to the really bad one, the really bad ideas. Dorcas. Also, hello Sherry. Hello everybody in chat. Hi guys. Hi, Atheist Gamer.
I think it's better to have the marketplace than to not. I think it's generally speaking a net good. But on this topic, generally speaking, particularly with knowledge of the more black-pilled areas of speech, a lot of people, I think, misinterpret criticism of one's speech and the ideas that they are saying with being against free speech. It's like, no, I'm just telling you the idea is shit, and I'm allowed to say that because of the marketplace of ideas, because of the free speech. I'm not saying you can't say it. I'm saying you're wrong, and what you're doing is bad.
Yes,
there you go.
I'm allowed to say you're wrong because you're allowed to say I'm wrong. There's this reciprocal thing here, and me arguing with you is me taking part in the marketplace of ideas. But somehow disagreement is supposed to be you don't want me to say it.
Right. You can say it. I don't think you should say it, but you can say it, and I'm allowed to say why I don't think you should say it. Because when you are saying this thing, you are presumably in this example, it is a truly bad and uninformed thing. When you do say that bad and uninformed thing, you are presumably not living up to the responsibility of having that marketplace of ideas and free speech. And we got some money for thoughts.
Dorcas, you got interrupted, so you have to read it.
All right. How does Lives in Dev's Walls specifically sound?
I don't know. He's probably muffled by the walls.
Muffled but
guilty. Yeah.
No.
Marketplace implies the existence of idea derivatives. I want to be leveraged to the tits buying short-dated options contracts on postulates.
Now that's how I will always hear Lives in Dev's Walls.
Just so you know now.
Huzzah, sir.
That's who you are. Super chat me out. So you heard it, Master. You heard it?
It was a great
like...
volume.
Okay.
Honestly, I would love to hear Sitch read Lives in Dev's Walls, specifically his super chats, in that voice in particular.
I love how he always it always says the whole name when he reads it out. Lives in Dev's Walls specifically. Close enough. Okay, it's close enough. We decided. Well, walls.
Anyway,
I'm still have to get into the habit of calling him walls instead of dev, because my brain just goes on to the dev parts.
So I did want to highlight something that I think Dorcas was touching on, at least tangentially. I don't know if it's the spirit of what he was trying to say, but thank you, Dorcas, for inspiring me on this one. When you introduce your ideas into the marketplace of ideas, right?
Mhm.
You are engaging with the feedback mechanism of you putting your ideas out there and getting feedback. It is a necessitative function of the marketplace of ideas that when you do give your opinion out there, that you will potentially get feedback. Doesn't mean that
Mhm.
anyone's going to pay attention to it, but it means that somebody could. And
You're
so if
exposing yourself to that. Yeah.
100%. And so if you are going to be putting out ideas for people to criticize and you
Mhm.
receive criticism, this is not something to be surprising. You should be able to engage with it. You should be able to respond to it. And if you can't, that's not the person engaging with you's fault. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you're like lacking or a bad person because you don't have a response. Like this is how ideas get forged. This is how critical thinking gets manifest. Um, it's
You're
it's
right.
important for people to give this pushback and be open to listening to oppositional ideas.
So it seems like all of us here are free. Are we free speech extremists here?
Not an extremist, but a free speech advocate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I suppose extremist implies literally going to the extreme to where it's
Mhm.
not it's radical. It's too much. Okay. He's Axie.
More or less.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Hello, Zax.
Stalkers as well. Nadia Raid. Oh, hi Nadia. Hi Horror Nadia. Horror with
Hello,
Nods.
hello,
Awesome name.
hello.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nadia, for
Who's
the
Nadia?
raid.
Let's give a summary of what they do if it's known.
She does horror stuff, and I'm
The
making
horror.
fun of the way that you guys say horror, because that's how I would say horror with nuts is how I'd say it. But yeah, that's what she does. How have you not subscribed to her? Most of the people that have
Yeah.
subscribed to me, I should expect that they are, what's it? Horror. Exactly. That's what I was
Horror.
making the joke. But Nadia, let's see what was she doing? Horror and everything. Nadia. Horror. Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Go jump into. Well,
Um,
she needs to speak to us on. No, she's probably just busy shutting down her stream and things. Because I was going to try and link to her. Yeah.
Master Caecilius, you're gonna feel really bad if Charles doesn't show up and he is dead. Just saying.
Yeah.
No, sorry, you're Barmy. My God, the chat shifted on me and I read the wrong name.
That's how Japanese say holder. Like souvenir key holder is key horror. Okay. Oh, she was talking about The Last of Us. Okay. Was there a new episode? I have seen until 6. So
Did you see the flashback one? Yeah, that's 6. No,
Yeah.
7 comes out Sunday.
okay, cool. Because it seems like, listen, if we want to talk about that delivered the way Charles said it was gonna initially, but people, I saw some people that were very upset with Coral out of a TV for me, baby.
What's
Anyway.
Ringu?
Ringu. Yes. So right, the Last of Us is scarily bad. It's not okay. After guys, I rewatched the first season and it's made the second season feel a little bit better. It has worked. Episode 6 sucked ass. Okay. Well, what did Nadia think of it?
Not
Did she
Pingu.
give it grace? I feel bad. I will feel bad, and you'll wear a golf hat. Yes, everybody would have to wear. Yes, that's what we would do for Charles.
I think we'll all put on the
If
Newsies
Charles
caps
departed.
in honor.
A golf
Yeah.
hat and a shotgun shin plate.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we would. Yeah, we would totally do that. Right. So, marketplace of ideas. Going back to that. it sounds really nice. So it seems like we all understand that it comes with responsibility, as in you're going to get feedback and you're going to have to deal with that feedback however. Okay. But with the digital age, okay, with platforms like X and things like that, you're getting feedback way more than, say, would be natural for humans pre-technology. Maybe you would
No,
get
some
published.
pamphlets were fire though. Like they literally got spread around. But yeah, probably.
Yes.
Definitely real-time feedback is a thing.
Yeah, and dogpiling and things like that. That's what makes the marketplace. It's bigger. Okay, so and it gets more high definition. You actually see the shit coming out
Ooh.
of people's mouths.
Can I ask, where do you see the marketplace of ideas? Like, is it Twitter? Is it like YouTube? Or is it kind of, I don't know, because it feels like news is maybe a different place than the average
Question, yeah.
ideas. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I
So
kind of view that
think-
different. Like it's very corporate.
I think that Twitter was probably the best amalgamation of the online iteration of what the public square was for a time being. But when you can highlight whether or not Twitter was accurate as that, you can pinpoint a couple of different years here and there. But whether it be the people in control of it, one side or another, or the Overton window that was accepted on either or, it's become less accurate over time, even though it's probably the most accurate version of the internet's example of the public square. But at the same time, I think since Blue Sky's inception, we have lost the accuracy, what little accuracy Twitter had left, by creating a tribalistic schism where a lot of the people who you used to find on Twitter and find comfortable on Twitter, say 6, 7, 8 years ago, have essentially created a small scale exodus. So a lot of that influence on the public discussion that's on Twitter or X, whatever you want to fucking call it, it's now outweighed to some extent. Those people that were there are now spending their time primarily on a different clone social media app.
So I think this atheist gamer asks here, is X a marketplace of opinion? So I guess marketplace of ideas, opinion, same thing. Like, I guess it's like
I feel
there's
like I kind of
different
just touched on
flaws.
that one, yeah.
Yeah, like are there
The
different
public
flaws?
square, isn't it?
Well, it is a public square. It's not the one, you know?
100%.
I think A is
I don't know if there's
considering, yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if there's like the public square anymore. Like there's so many of them, and once you get kicked out of one, you have options to go to another. Like, you know, Rumble will allow other things to be said.
Yes. So, okay, let's think of it before digital. What would we have? Okay. I mean, some of us some of us grew up with just as the beginning of the internet occurred. But what were our parents doing? Where did they get ideas?
I mean,
Where was theirs?
I feel like it might be a generational thing, but I feel like a lot of my parents and even their parents were doing a lot of what we are now, just on a different scale.
Just talking.
Well, there is the just talking aspect, right? But that's just human nature that has existed since humans developed language. But ever since there was a widespread radio news broadcast, there was this new function of what people consider to be valuable information being broadcast to them from other people.
Mhm.
And it can be super condensed into something like, well, there's 3 radio stations that reach across 1/3 of this state, and that's where everybody gets their news from. Or maybe there's 4 or 5 reputable news broadcasts that get televised to the entire fucking country on television.
So
But
those are like the big department stores, I suppose, of the ideas.
whereas
They
now
have-
with social media, we're
Yeah.
now dealing with like small
Like
independent
a flea
shops
market.
that
Yeah.
some are super popular and some are popular enough to survive, and so like you have these little pockets.
Mm. Yeah. So I guess with the marketplace of ideas is literally anywhere. Dorcas is honoring Charles. Very nice.
Love it.
Absolutely.
You look very cool, Dorcas, with that hat.
Thank you.
Dorcas, you're suddenly funnier. Just saying.
There's something to it.
I'm not sure it's a marketplace. Goods in markets bear a price. It's different type of competitive environment. Okay, so yeah, so I suppose marketplace is a simplification or a misnomer, I suppose. Well, what would you call it, Dev? If it's not Dev walls, if it's not a marketplace, is it?
I love that we
Like-
went from dev to walls rather than dev to lives.
You know, I want to walls. Lots of people apparently call them walls. Books have ideas in them, like a technical journal has an idea of an invention. Libraries have lots of ideas. So, okay, it's a library of ideas. Because people go and share their ideas, okay, and they're all on the shelf there. Some of them are in these massive fucking books that are hard to ignore. And others are just little ones over there in the corner that you might pick up and enjoy. Okay, that makes sense, because I was going to ask you guys, okay, we're saying where is it? But think about it when we talk about, well, when Jordan Peterson and friends talk about it, they do talk about the lack of cost there is to bring your ideas out these days. There's no cost to mob people with an idea.
There's also no cost now to engage with these ideas to the level that you used to have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in today's money,
Yeah.
like for inflation, in previous times, to be able to at least even have a life that allows you to engage with the ideas, such as like what it means to like have a framework that you're engaging with life through, other than just like survival.
Was that loud?
A little bit.
It's pretty loud.
That
At least
was
it's not
fucking
annoying
loud.
now.
Yeah, thank goodness. There you go. Oh no, it worked this time. Noble didn't think it was gonna work, and he did it anyway. Sorry, guys.
worries.
I'm awake now, bruh. That's a bit loud. Down like 50%. Each alert has a different level of audio.
Gotta go through all of them.
Anyway, sorry. That was a very rude interruption, Nobor. But he didn't think it was gonna work. There's a cost to let your idea out. Sorry, guys. He's really sorry. Oh, shame. There is a cost to let your idea out. Someone else can take credit for it. Oh, there's that. Okay. Was that someone tackling a llama?
Yes. Just the
Okay.
sound, though.
Okay, so have we agreed where it is? It's everywhere. It's anywhere an idea is. There is a marketplace for it, or there a library, or whatever.
Sure.
I guess. Sorry, I know it's blown your mind.
It feels like it's everywhere now.
Mhm.
Like it's certainly easier to make it international now. people from different countries can shit on your opinion. It's great.
Yeah.
Why not?
But now gatekeep is now Davina is talking about. So now that's the thing, though. Okay, so
Mhm.
remember,
I
yeah.
sorry, do you mind if I
Go.
yeah. So as far as like where the marketplace of ideas is, I feel like it's like we start boiling down to like what human experience is, because really the marketplace of ideas is anywhere where multiple different individuals can express their ideas in a way that's actually being engaged with and competitive. So that can boil down to literally just two people talking on the porch or 15 people in a boardroom. It doesn't matter where it's happening, as long as you're having genuine human interaction. That is a part of the marketplace of ideas.
Okay, yeah, wherever ideas are being expressed to each other. And you said a word competing. So that is that why we use the word marketplace, because markets compete and things like that. There's values to certain things, and you're trying to make people take yours and value yours more than another. Is that where this competitive necessary as part of this conceptual?
I think that if earnest engagement is being like if earnest engagement is happening, then there is going to be some level of people presenting what they feel as being correct, right? So there's going to be an earnestness in how somebody presents what they have to say, what they feel. And then on top of that, somebody who is in disagreement, if they're engaging in earnest, they're also going to be doing the same thing. So if these
But
two
so
don't
many people
line up
aren't.
necessarily. Sorry, what's that, Dorcas?
But so many people aren't, Ernest.
True. But if we are engaging with the hypothetical that they are engaging in earnest, right? Then we have to necessitate the fact that these people are actually letting their ideas manifest as themselves and interact with each other. And if it's in disagreement, then and Davina, I appreciate that Ernest Goes to Camp reference. Thank you so much. But if these earnest ideas are actually able to bump up against each other, then of course that there is going to be a situation where there is a competitive nature between these ideas if they don't align. And how we find truth is finding out where there is the largest amount of consistency or connection to reality, right? So if one argument seems to be well off into left field, like Illuminati is created because my dog pooped in the shape of a triangle, it's like, fucking that don't mean shit, pun intended. But
It actually does mean shit.
oh my god. But yeah, there is a difference between that sort of idea being presented versus somebody bringing up the Bilderberg group, right? So we can actually have discussion about things, but unless we're actually willing to let the nature of arguments actually like meet each other, then we don't actually create that competitive spirit that could very well cause friction, but also could very well create a greater understanding. Sorry, I've been rambling.
No, I think I'm understanding what you're doing though is speaking about an ideal.
Yes.
And I think that makes it worth it, right? Like anything in life, we do look for an ideal, and the fact that it's very difficult to get to it shouldn't mean that we completely abandon seeking it. It's one of the things like, oh well, peace is just never going to be a thing, so we might as well never try. It's like, well, it's still better to be looking for peace than than to just give up and fuck everything up. So I think what we could try to do, what I would like us to do, is that let's talk about. So we've got the ideal marketplace of ideas. How do we how would you guys recommend you interact in it? Because it seems like we're all okay with this idea that it's there, but like Dorcas said, not everybody is interacting in good faith. So what can you do as a participant in the marketplace of ideas? What can you do to keep yourself sane and to keep yourself engaging in earnest? Tips?
It's a good question. Well, if nobody else is jumping in, I guess it depends on each platform. Like, you just know Twitter is not a place for like well thought out conversations. Essentially, it's going to be quick quips and really shitting on things. So I don't know. It's a good place to test something like, okay, people seem to hate this idea. But I don't know that it's a good place for like a focus group where, you know, there's different platforms where you could probably get more information on something. I guess it would just be know the platform that you're dealing with, because as Davina's saying, troll's gonna troll.
I think
You know,
all-
Twitter trolling is very different compared to you know, like YouTube trolling.
It's not one size fits all.
Or are you saying what's not one size fits all? The tips wouldn't fit anything. Wouldn't fit all of the places.
How you choose to engage in the marketplace is going to differ from X to YouTube to your local church to school to Congress.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So we would have to so if we want to talk about tips, we would have to just specify where we are, right? So why do people interact on Twitter? Why do you think people put their ideas out on Twitter?
For the dopamine rush, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, to tie in with exactly what Dorcas is saying, to be heard.
Well, building on that, a concept that I want to try to articulate and then ask if you think it's the case or not. Because the marketplace feels like an abstract concept. So can we, when we're talking about ideas battling that out, are we talking specifically about one person engaging with another, or are we talking about the societal conversation that's happening, you know, as ideas as part of a larger organism? Something's happening in chat that made Kitty smile. But ideas that sort of rise, ideas that capture the zeitgeist more so than any one thing that you or I as individuals can do.
I think what you're doing right now, Dorcas, is that you are highlighting both the microcosm and the macrocosm of the same phenomena. Both are equal functions to the marketplace of ideas. The fact that people need to have these one-on-one discussions and have their individual ideas engage with each other is a necessary part of it, but the manifest of that behavior is the cultural shift in Overton window that is being highlighted by taking a look at the macro size look at what the marketplace of ideas might be.
So it all interacts. It's all part of it. There's there is a macro and a micro. As I think, as with anything, we're a little microcosm over here of ideas, and we have our own little marketplace here, and we have our own rules that we would want to engage in when we are in our little marketplace here. And I would say that generally that's what we're trying to do here is have good conversations, and really interact in the marketplace of ideas, not just say stuff and then jump on each other, because that's what's kind of happening with Twitter, that sort of thing. So I guess you one of the things we could advocate for is just figure out what kind of marketplace you're in at any given time. When it comes to ideas, if you're on Twitter, what are you doing there? What are you trying to achieve?
So, building on what you had said about this being our little marketplace here, if someone out there is saying something you don't like, do you feel you have to engage with them specifically? I mean, one, is it practical that not everyone is like, presumably that's what Twitter would be for, so that you can say something about someone and they have the opportunity to respond. But I see the name Fuentes in chat, and it's like, I find him completely abhorrent. I don't like him, and I would not want to waste my time. I would not want to deign to have any kind of conversation with him. I'm perfectly content to watch someone dismantle his horrific opinions and then support that person, more so than what I would feel would be a waste of my time engaging with him directly.
So can I touch on that real quick?
Please.
So I agree with you in the idea of celebrating the takedown of somebody like Nick Fuentes by somebody who disagrees with him, right? However, I also have my limits. If Hassan Piker is taking down Nick Fuentes, and he's doing so with like actual facts and logic and reason, right? Kudos to Hassan Piker for doing that to that person. However, all of his previous behavior also makes me take that with a severe grain of salt, in knowing that, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day. And even though I can point at this and be like, okay, I can appreciate this criticism, I can appreciate this commentary. However, I can also point at a million other things that I disagree with firmly and vehemently. To be like, well, that doesn't mean that necessarily just because they are poo-pooing on an idea that I find abhorrent, it doesn't mean that necessarily that their opinions are worth valuing more than somebody else.
Okay, so well, there's implications there that you actually you bring to mind, Galente, where it's like support in confronting an idea, or supporting it or whatever. That your actions when you are presented with an idea are then interpreted by everybody else. So when you're presented with an idea, you will be, if you walk away from it and you don't want to even touch it, you might be judged and say, oh, it's because you're intimidated by it. That's why you don't want to engage with it, because you don't want to engage with it, so because we're right and you're wrong. That's why, you know, like there's always going to be an interpretation of your actions, and sometimes people also mistake interacting with a bad idea as supporting it, because they're like, but you did deign to speak to Nick Fuentes. There is that sort of thing that happens as well, where people are like, but why would you interact with this? This is a tactic that we expected from the leftists, where it was like, how you're platforming them. And then we've seen that happen where now, say, someone like Joe Rogan is criticized for entertaining ideas at all. Discuss.
Well, and you don't even necessarily have to go as far as somebody like Joe Rogan entertaining ideas that he is seen to be more lenient to based off of his political leanings.
Yeah.
There was also the heat that Destiny came under well before any of the sex pest bullshit came about. But Destiny ended up doing an IRL live stream with Nick Fuentes where they went and got chicken and waffles, which I felt like, I don't like the term coded, but that is exactly the term that I have to use for this. if somebody like Destiny is going to get Nick Fuentes, of all people, somebody who is quote unquote white nationalist, white supremacist, right? Even though his bloodline is questionable, and it's only important to the people that he tends to advocate for, right? But to get someone like Nick Fuentes to go and eat a meal like chicken and waffles, which is so heavily stereotypically connected to the Black American community, it's so deliciously ironic. I love it so goddamn much.
I think that's the thing, though. Like, it is delicious. Like,
it is delicious.
There is enough plausible deniability there. Like, who doesn't want chicken and waffles? It's awesome.
Well, if you've had it, you know. If you've had it, you know. It's just amazing, right? But it is something that is stereotypical to a single demographic that Nick Fuentes is supposed to be against vehemently, emotionally, to his core. And so to have him go out and eat chicken and waffles is delightfully humorous. But at the same time, Destiny came under fire for going out and socializing with Nick Fuentes, confronting him on ideas throughout the entire stream, but also not necessarily being shitty enough to Nick Fuentes to make him want to walk off set.
Oh, yes. You have to be shitty to a person who has shitty ideas.
Mm-hmm. And
otherwise you support them.
Yeah. And if we start embracing that sort of behavior, like, how the fuck are we actually supposed to reach other people and like get people to cross the aisle, be convinced by our ideas? Like, Daryl Davis is one of my personal heroes, and that man has risked his life befriending people that vehemently hate him, and because of the power of friendship, he's got like 30 plus KKK hoods at home saved up that are donated to him from the people that he turned away from bigotry.
Like, oh, cool.
Okay. Fucking Christ. How can you? He is a black jazz musician from the South.
Mm-hmm.
That
yes, you've mentioned him before.
He is the guy. He is the guy that is putting his money where his mouth is by being nice. Like, Jesus Christ, can we ask for a more human experience than that?
Like Jesus Christ, yes.
Yeah, literally turn the other cheek and just show what goodness can be.
But it's tough, eh? It's tough when those are literally the worst you could get, really. Yeah. But it takes a toll on you.
I couldn't do what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard
I'm
Charles
certainly not. Go on, Greg. I'm certainly not advocating for being an asshole needlessly to people, even to people you don't like. But if I ran a channel that was pro this topic,
mm-hmm.
and someone like Nick Fuentes had a channel that was anti this topic,
mm-hmm.
And then somehow, because it's social media and people like react content and so on and so forth, if one of us were to respond to a video that the other made,
mm-hmm.
again, I don't feel like I have to sit down to the table with Fuentes to hash it out or to talk or debate. I mean, debate's its own skill, and I'm happy to let other people who are practiced in debate do
mm-hmm.
all of that. I am satisfied with living in, as Kitty said, our little marketplace here and trying to speak in earnest on the topics that we cover and I feel are worth fighting for.
So maybe going back to the tips of that, it's tips as in like I don't know, ideas that help you. It would be engage in the marketplace the way that is most comfortable to you. So there are people like that guy that will get down in the trenches, that will take that, will stand in the face of getting all that hate and be okay with it. but there's other ways that you can engage. One of the things that V, obviously I'm always have to praise V, but like he says he doesn't understand why people must do this debate format. He thinks response videos is actually it is a legitimate way to interact with ideas, because you have time to go and put your ideas together into a video or whatever, and you've decided this is it and it's out there, and then somebody comes and takes it and says, this is what I think of that. That's kind of what academics used to do anyway. That's what you're supposed to have done, is that somebody articulates an idea and then you criticize the idea. I think that is a nice format to engage with. And it does provide you some sort of buffer against, so that you have time to think. And it's not about, it's less about this performance in a conversation. It's more about this is my measured response and this is my way of thinking. That you don't get to gotcha me. If that's why people call it like debate bro, it's like a cheapening of debates, that they kind of lean into the entertainment value of debates rather than the intellectual stimulation of debates.
Well, and at the risk of sounding like a bit of a Sitchin atom orbiter, like the terminology came up on their stream recently. I know, right?
I really enjoyed today's stream, actually.
I missed
I was
it.
asleep.
I was working.
Yes.
I feel you. But the term debate locked came up to describe where sorry, Lucifer and I will have a conversation. But the idea of becoming so invested in the conversation and where you're at in it is a very human thing to do, right? Like, there's no ignoring that we have an investment in being correct. Like, our whole like neurochemistry is based off of building patterns that we can then predict things off of to be able to keep ourselves fucking alive. So of course we have an investment in being correct because our lives depend on it.
Yeah.
But when somebody lets that investment take over everything else, then all of a sudden conversation is no longer productive.
There's no shared what's the name? Shared goal of finding truth.
Yeah, it's about winning. It's about like whether it be described as competitive nature or tribalism, even if the tribe that we're advocating for is the tribe of one ourselves. There is this built-in function into our brains that makes us engage that way or want to engage that way, right? And fucking, you can't shame somebody for doing it, but it's different when it seems like everything outside of that gets thrown to the wind for the sake of the win, right? It's why we would point at people why can't I think of his name?
Jesus.
No, Jesus would have been easy to remember. Matt Walsh or Hassan Piker.
Very different person.
Yes, very much so. But like both of these people as being people who are tribalistically motivated, right? They very much so want to advocate for their team, but also then once you start seeing them interact with even people on their team, if there's disagreement, they have to win.
Yes.
And it's so fucking frustrating.
Jesus would convert the water to wine, and that would be a awesome party. Only if his mom told him to, though. I've got to get my second cup of coffee, but I've got a question for you guys to tackle. And I hope that you guys are in a lively discussion by the time I get back. There you go.
Okay.
What's the influence of
And I want
algorithms?
Gray to start it, because Gray hasn't spoken a lot.
True.
What's the influence of algorithms? Fair enough. I think it's definitely too powerful on some of the platforms. I guess all of the platforms. The whole idea is that it is over 9,000. I guess the idea is to make you look at the one longer than any other one. I don't know. It's definitely changed over time. I used to see like nothing but arguments on Twitter, and now like the second I open up X, I see like at least 1 or 2 deaths. My algorithm has gotten funky. I don't like that, but I definitely did it to myself by apparently spending more time on certain posts. But man, if I want to like scar my psyche for a while, I just have to open up Twitter. Yeah. But you know, all the algorithms. Oh, sorry, go right ahead. Charles, you were saying something.
Galente showed me 2 videos before the Think, and now I'm getting all the recommended in that video style. Sorry, so continue, Gray. Sorry.
Yeah. And then that's the thing too. Like the algorithm has definitely changed what videos you know, I see on YouTube over the years. And I swear I haven't changed it too much. I usually watch the same things, but man, it knows what to do to kind of get me to click on the recommended. So I don't know, it's getting creepy. But yeah, it definitely sends you into like little loops, these tiny little communities where, you know, you're definitely spending more time than it makes certain aspects look a lot bigger. Like I know for a while I was stuck in the weird flat earth debate thing of YouTube. It's a weird community that exists, and then I clicked on a weird like sovereign citizen video, and it kept sending me down these weird rabbit holes. You know, it definitely can get you to be a part of a weird community, but yeah, I don't know. I think the algorithm definitely makes certain things seem a lot bigger, more of a problem than they actually are. But
I agree.
perhaps I'm wrong.
Thank you, Miss Sparkles.
No,
Sparkles has a point, though.
wait, let me find it. Speaking of scaring Gray, I'm making an AI video of Gray.
There was another one complimenting Galente.
Ah,
That's the one.
Just wanted to say thank you.
But I don't know. What do you guys think about the influence of algorithms? Do you think that's shaping essentially like the public marketplace of ideas, or do you think that's just if you choose to go to recommended and you know, the smart people don't go to that page, instead they search for what they want?
So I do think that there is some weight to that argument of the algorithm having an influence. So I
Hunter Biden laptop. What?
Oh my
Who
god!
said that?
Holy shit! But no, on my PC and my phone, I'm logged in, but I also have my PlayStation that's on guest account, right? And on there, like, I will watch Nate the Lawyer. I'll watch Donut Operator. And I can understand that these are more like right-leaning channels as far as not only the takes that they have, but also the topics they cover. At the same time, I don't see why this is then going to make YouTube think that I want to watch Mentis Wave, who's, you know, Donut Operator is great. But Mentis Wave is a veiled libertarian monarchist. So it's one of those things where it's kind of frustrating that it seems like my recommended feed on my guest account is assuming I'm making that jump. Yeah, I know Nate always gets called a lefty. But it's frustrating when you end up just engaging with like moderate quote unquote right wing takes, and you end up being recommended extremist right wing takes. And the second that I start looking for um a left wing take, all of a sudden I start having things like Noah Samson and Denims and Hassan into my recommended feed as well. It's frustrating that it seems like they tend to um, lend a more intensified version of what you're looking at, based off of a more mild version. True. Yeah. Thank you, Incense, for being here, and thanks the algorithm for
Thanks, algorithm.
bringing you in. But it does seem to have an effect on what exposure you're going to find.
Does it make us naturally tend towards the extremes?
I think if you're predisposed to it, sure, yeah. But if you have a bullshit detector on, you can realize when all of a sudden a principle that you hold is being violated.
Okay.
Building on
'Cause I'm-
that, I definitely think that there are some people who are predisposed to unhealthy ways of thinking, and the algorithm exacerbates that, and then we get attempts that shouldn't have been made, and so on and so forth. And we know that there are people in control of the algorithm. I'm going to sound very deep state here, except for the fact that they've admitted it.
They know.
There are some people that control and influence the algorithm and hide certain information. So anyway, continue, Kitty, on what you were.
How do we? What I was going to go on to is like, how do we go to an algorithm-free place? Because people have said, okay, well, yeah, the algorithm has been good in certain ways. I guess the reason, yeah, of course you do.
How long did you work on that costume?
He made that hat himself.
Seems like he spent the whole 5 minutes
and
on it.
Gray lit all those candles.
Indeed.
And he's floating for us. So, but yeah, what I was saying, Douglas Murray algorithm brought me here. Yeah, so there is that, and then we also have then creators themselves. It's a knock-on effect. Creators themselves have to play to the algorithm to be seen, because you are essentially selling your ideas. The more people view your idea, the more valuable it seems or is perceived to be. So you will talk about things that actually you might not want to talk about, because of the algorithm. So I don't know, is the algorithm because it's just this black box. I don't even know how well it's understood by the people that create it now at this point. How many factors go into it? Could we just go back to timelines? Because remember, initially, that's kind of what it was on Twitter, where you followed certain people. And then when they tweeted, it would come up on the timeline. It was a timeline. Remember, Facebook also started off with something called a timeline. Do you think we could do that again? Not Jacob.
Wait a minute. BMO's ghost just commented.
Yeah. Without algorithms, then I wouldn't be gaining any subs, because I would only be stuck at word of mouth. How do you know? How do you know? You might have actually just come up because somebody scrolled long enough. I guess that's the thing. You make
That is definitely a possibility. At the same time, I think the reason why BMO is saying that algorithms helped boost him is because he has experienced slightly faster growth than you would expect within just a few months, based off of his format meant to kind of manipulate what the algorithm is supposed to be looking for.
Mhm.
Primarily, he has been like organically incentivizing chat engagement by
Yeah.
the entire point of his streams being like, hey, if you're here in chat when I die in game, you have a
You get
chance
a
to
picture.
have
Yeah.
me draw. Yeah.
So
Um
tell me your ideas and yeah, and distract me
mhm.
enough to die as
Yes,
well.
exactly.
Mhm.
It is organic engagement, incentivization. I wouldn't call it engagement manipulation. It's just giving people a reason to do it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like that is the idea of the stream. Um, yes, he is distracted enough to die quite often. Um, but the fact that he's been doing that has manifested in him growing his channel a bit faster than would be expected for most people. So it
Mm.
could be a correlation doesn't equal causation, but correlation is still there.
Asmongold watched a video about a chick with 300 subs, and within 6 hours she had 13K subs. Who needs an algorithm when you get that kind of exposure? Well, that's true. The only reason I ever got over 1,000 subscribers was because of Warren Smith. And I think
Based.
half of the people that subscribed probably don't watch me anymore. But that kind of that number has an influence um on then how many people will be exposed to your channel. So the whatever podcast, oh my god. Now that's another thing I think we can talk about in terms of the marketplace of ideas. Okay, so we're talking about algorithms,
You mean
and
the
they are
ultimate place? The ultimate marketplace for ideas?
whatever. Yeah, absolutely. The what's it's geez, I'm floundering, but basically the holy grail of idea places go there. But just now when we're talking about marketplace, the use of the word marketplace mean it gives us the idea of value and things like that. In the marketplace of ideas, when you have a certain amount of people listening to that idea, it gets a perceived value. Um, is that a thing of the internet or a thing of humans?
Well, I think it's
Mm.
appealing to the same like concept of a customer base, right?
Mhm.
In the economic structure, a market is being influenced by what people are wanting to buy based off of
Mhm.
what's available, right? Um, and I feel like the same thing is applicable when it comes to the marketplace of ideas. If there are popular or commonly discussed ideas, that tends to be what's available to most people. But then there is the ooh, sorry, the added effect of what people need to find valuable and want to
Mhm.
engage with. Um, in the marketplace of ideas, it very much so can just be that somebody is emotionally motivated or uh, wants to engage for their own personal reasons with a certain set of ideas. But that's the same thing that happens in economic structures as well. Um, but it does all boil down to if your ideas have nobody that wants to engage with them, they're not
Mhm.
going to have any traction to get good footing, get started, get out there. It has to be something that's wanted and for it to be something that's engaged with. That doesn't mean
Okay.
it's good, but it means
That's what I
it's
was gonna
wanted.
say. You could have the junk food of the marketplace,
Exactly.
where
But
it gives you something. Yes.
doesn't that sort of tangentially talk upon what I had brought up earlier about how I wouldn't necessarily want to talk directly to Nick Fuentes because I think
Mhm.
his the things he talks about should live in the realm of we as a society shouldn't want to talk about these things or say these things, so I'm not going to share my
100%.
platform. What? Okay. Yeah. Cool.
100%. In fact, I think that's one of the most valuable influences that you can give in the negative affirmation. Um, And the fact that I may be looking back 10, 15 years ago, but given that 10, 15 years ago, that any person worth their salt that gave a fuck about their reputation would have treated Nick Fuentes the same way, goes to show the fact that that does actually manifest in whether or not these ideas are taken seriously. It's just the cultural framework and what we allow to shift and change the Overton window will shift whether or not it comes back into focus.
Great. What do you think about popularity?
That's beautiful.
Popularity in showing, giving a perceived value of what somebody is saying. Like, I mean, we have Hassan Parker doing numbers, boys.
Yeah. I mean, I think it definitely adds something to it. I mean, it's all, we mentioned like the performativeness before, but I mean, like, no matter what, it is kind of a public performance of some kind. So I guess you're hoping it kind of catches on. So I don't know. It does give a certain air of, I don't know what you'd call that, authority to somebody just because they have popularity. It's hopefully they'll be exposed if they definitely don't have the expertise and don't know what the hell they're talking about. But yeah, I think it's going to get opinions like Hassan's, which aren't always informed out there a lot more. Or like the aforementioned Fuentes. But I think a lot of his reputation comes from the, like, he's been banned from this. Like, you're not supposed to hear him. I don't know. It adds a certain mystique to it, I guess.
Well, that makes me ask this question. Okay, we get to this question, which is the main question anyone thinks of when they hear the word, I think, when they hear the word marketplace, the words marketplace of ideas. They talk about...
Sorry.
Yes, that was a beautiful belch, Galente. But my question is, are there ideas that should be excluded from the marketplace of ideas?
I don't think. Yeah, go for it, Dorcas. Sorry, I've been talking way too much.
I was just slow talking my way to, not that I can think of. Again, as long as you don't mind me or someone else refuting your ideas, no.
I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think that there should be any ideas excluded from the marketplace of ideas. However, at the same time, no idea is immune from being disregarded completely, right? And that is going to come down to the individual experience. You can't necessarily shape that in somebody else other than yourself, other than trying to give reasoned arguments to influence other people. Like, if you can if you can try and make sense to other people to argue your position in a way that's convincing to other people, that's the best thing that you can do if you find the ideas that you're arguing against abhorrent. But yeah, it's your responsibility to argue for your ideas against ideas that you find distasteful. If you find that other people finding your ideas distasteful doesn't discount your ideas from being valued.
If no one buys it, yep, okay. But no, the thing is, so yes, I understand that whole thing of if no one buys them, it puts them in the landfill of ideas. There's a lot that's what we hope for. We hope the mechanism, like when they say let the markets decide, like that whole idea. We hope that the mechanism just tends us towards the right thing. But then we do get the horde of psychopathic bots, guys, that make a certain idea like it is resonating, or that it does resonate. It does resonate with that. That's the thing, though. Being open to the marketplace of ideas also means you're open to the worst of humanity. But I think then going to Instance comments, is it really possible to exclude ideas from the marketplace in the first place? I don't really think so. Is there a best way to approach abhorrent ideas? one of the ways Charles has said is there are certain people that will go and engage with the person directly, but he prefers to engage with have like a couple steps of removal from that person where we just interacting with their idea. So we can actually just bring it down to just their idea. We don't have to deal with the person. Do you think that that's more that's a cop out, or what do you guys think? I think it's a good way to engage. It takes away certain layers of behavioral noise.
And to be clear, I'm not suggesting people like don't do that.
Mhm.
Debate is not a skill that I'm practiced in, and I wouldn't want to be a poor representative of my ideas. So I'd rather
Mhm.
take my time based on my
Mhm.
skill sets, build my argument, and present them as best I can on my platform.
I feel like
Hmm.
I feel
Who's
like
the arbiter?
if
Mm. Yeah.
exactly that there is no arbiter as to what makes an idea abhorrent. So if you find an idea abhorrent, it is your responsibility to be able to argue against it effectively.
Mm.
It's purely what you are willing to bring to the table in earnest that makes up your piece of the pie. And you can have 25 people engage in a miniature marketplace of ideas, and if you're the only person that's engaging, trying to actually reach some sort of level of understanding or
Mhm.
interacting in a way that's like genuine engagement with other people's ideas, then there's not going to be anything that comes of it, right? But when we expand that shit out to what the damn near 8 billion people that exist on this planet, and then we start to realize that, you know what, a lot of the people that are engaging in good faith are actually making good headway in these topics, in these conversations, and might actually have something of value above the level of, hey, weather's nice today level of conversation. Um, if somebody is going to be like, hey, so I want to talk to you about racism, I'll be like, okay, there's some value to be had here. Let's talk about it.
Mhm.
And they say to me, it's bad. I'm like, oh, okay, there's no value to be had here in this conversation. I know racism is bad. We could go a lot deeper than that, but unless you're willing to do that, then I don't really see much value in engaging further. And so when you see a lot of people engaging with deep conversations and coming up with actually kind of thought-provoking ideas around the topics that are actually built towards a constructive conclusion where we can actually, maybe solve some problems,
Mhm.
then you start realizing that these ideas start becoming popular with people because, wow, holy shit, this is something that is speaking truth and is actually
Mhm.
constructive. Because I feel like most people genuinely do want constructive building towards a better future for all.
I don't know. That's what I
But
think. That's what's scary about it, because there are people that would say that you need to. People will not be good if they're left to their own devices. They need to power needs to be um, applied to those people so that they will behave themselves. Um, there are people that require control. They are not going to tend towards the good. Um, let's go to this comment here. Ideas are not valued by a democratic process always. Some ideas correlate with reality and some don't, but people can live in a fantasy by the millions. I think this is a very good comment,
very true.
because it's not a democratic process of, okay, well, yeah, just because there's the tyranny of the majority can occur. You can literally get a whole bunch of people together that decide that racism is good, and just because that many people decided about it doesn't mean that it's morally what happens. But I don't know. I think we kind of do work on a kind of consensus of what is abhorrent, what is in the Overton window. And it does get a bit scary when people are like, yeah, it's shifting. It's like, well, I'm not going to shift it towards pedo is a sexuality. Like, I'm not happy with that shift of ideas. So that brings me to this comment, which is, yes, absolutely, there should be ideas that are culturally suppressed, but this doesn't have to come from government fiat. That's exactly it from Fry. I'm in agreement with that. You can't have this power exerted to shut people up, because absolutely it will be it'll be abused for the people that are in power. But we do, yeah.
Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you. You were saying, but we do.
I want you to interrupt because you haven't spoken enough.
Okay. Just kind of two thoughts come to mind. So you mentioned like people left to their own devices. Is there any place that we are left to our own devices? Like, isn't every spot? I can't think of one that's not moderated. Like even, like Reddit's or even Kiwi Farms, like deletes posts if they kind of break TOS or whatever, which is weird. I thought those were supposed to be kind of the outlaws or whatever to the rules. But even on the ones that are pretty heavily moderated, there's a whole bunch of ideas that, aren't supposed to be discussed or would instantly get you demonetized on YouTube. And we find ways to discuss it either through analogy or through, veiled, flowery language. But I think a lot of the ideas are still able to be kind of combated, even with pretty heavy moderation on what is allowed to be discussed. I've heard debates on almost every topic that we've kind of brought up that's taboo. But I believe a lot of them are against, terms of service. So, yeah, there are certain euphemisms that are used. And as soon as you create one and ban it, there's going to be another one that somebody can use. So I don't know. I maybe I'm being way too optimistic, but I don't know. I just think the good ideas are the ones that will rise to the top. We do kind of need to combat these bad ideas, but it's not everyone's job to do it. You're not obligated to debate, and if like a response or a thought out review video or whatever is more of an idea that would is more your style, I don't know, that there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's still a performative nature to like almost all of this. Any Twitter conversation as well, like it's not just a single conversation between two people, it's for an audience
in front of it's the fact that others can see it, that it's very important. That's why for me, when people got into my DMs to have certain conversations with me that were definitely not worthy of time, that was when it disturbed me even more, because it wasn't even for an audience, it was just for them to get something through to me. Crazy stuff. So it seems like, I think I'm agreeing with you, Gray, that humans will moderate anyway. Like you're talking about you gave examples of specific platforms online, but I feel like that's what we do. That's what society is. What humans working together. Are you okay, Galente?
Yes, I just bumped my mic. Sorry about that.
Okay, I thought, just hope you. I was just checking you hadn't fallen.
Just telling
over.
you to pull a Charles.
But yeah, we're out of candles. But the what was I going to say? The fact is, humans actually, they do culturally censor each other. We get into what's acceptable and what isn't, and there are always people that don't respond to those social cues. Those are that's why I was so interested in Jordan Peterson talking about the psychopaths and things like that, because they actually don't, the signals that are used by other people, they have no effect on them. So they are not subject to social rules. They absolutely do not give a shit. And that's when you start going, oh shit, do we need to use force with such people? And I guess it's when they turn beyond just having an idea and then take action on it. Then you can take action against them. Here's another one. Unless anyone else wants to comment. Hello.
I think it's a moot point. If
Mhm.
the ideas were ignored, they wouldn't have had the cultural power that they ended up having, and then we wouldn't be having this conversation on the matter.
So okay, so if they had been ignored rather than debated or engaged with, so the fact is they weren't ignored by some people; they were actually taken up and celebrated. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And that created engagement further.
To be perfectly honest, I do think that most of the absurd woke arguments were ignored and disregarded with. Like, I don't know if most of y'all saw some of the like worst clown world takes that were the straw men that people were able to bring up back in the day of the most woke people advocating for like overthrowing the American government in favor of black ethno-nationalism here in the United States that was going on in some niche places online in like 2016. This is
that's
hidden,
yeah.
you
That's
know,
what they're
and
saying.
that shit got ignored.
I suppose to addendum my position, this presumably means the cultural how to word this.
Cultural.
I presumed the majority of people would have also been ignoring it. The people who decided to strengthen those echo chambers, the thinking. I don't feel like they were going to. I think that the ideas were given more airtime than they deserved, but I see your point.
I'm not saying that they weren't given airtime, and I can understand that any airtime might be more than they deserve in some situations. Forgive me for maybe throwing a big cherry bomb in the middle of this conversation. But I find that even today, for the past 10, 20, 30 years, people don't want to touch the topic of Black Hebrew Israelites with a 10-foot fucking pole. And like they are one of the most racist and offensive groups that exist.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to call them out because it's African American.
Do they have cultural power though?
They don't really
They're
have
the only
for themselves.
Like,
they do.
This might be regionalized to where I live, but they are the only racial hate group that's allowed to like preach on the corner, and nobody accosts them in the slightest.
Okay, well this brings me to the Kiss the Boer, the Farmer, the song that has been played around the whole America. Okay, maybe it's not all over the place for you guys, but it was very crazy that Trump played that song, the Kill the Boer Farmer song, to the South African president, showed him this video of his politicians in America. He showed it to the president, and basically the argument was that's just a fringe party. It's not really that much. But Trump is like, there's a whole stadium full of them singing the song. And
French
so
stadium.
and this is what I was waiting for. Yeah, that nobody understands Afrikaans, but he's not singing Afrikaans. So the point is, there are people that they have those fringe views, and nobody wants to really. People disregard them because of their size. And he basically that's what was happening. Is they were saying, listen, it's a fringe party. It's got like 2% or whatever, but they are in the parliament. They are representatives. So I don't know. Do you? The fact Charles said that there's no cultural power. It's like, well, do you wait for them to have cultural power before you condemn them? Do you ignore them?
Isn't there a certain amount of cultural power? Like, I don't know. You couldn't exactly say another group couldn't exactly have a song like that and get away with it, could they? So that there's a certain amount of cultural power there.
Yeah, I've softened my position.
What, that it's like, oh, because they don't have power, they shouldn't be really worried about until they do, I suppose.
I understated my initial assessment, and I answered very quickly, but I understated the insidiousness of the woke crowd to fill in the human resources positions at the big at the media companies, at the tech companies, and so on. And that's hard to fight by ignoring completely.
Do you allow, speaking of the marketplace of ideas, guys,
but to be fair, to be fair, I never advocate that everyone completely ignore. I've been consistent thus far in this stream in saying other people can go and do the one-on-one debates and engage directly with the people. But if I want to make an anti-woke video, which doesn't sound like a bad idea, I don't have to engage with the people directly in order to accomplish that.
I would say that an open engagement in the marketplace of ideas in an earnest fashion. Oh, what's up, Zach? Nice to see you.
Hey, guys.
Hell yeah.
Camera supremacy.
I would say that open engagement in the marketplace of ideas is very much so a valuable thing to do. Because like I said, in Seattle, Black Hebrew Israelites are able to protest on the street, like spouting racial slurs every 5 seconds all the time. And the only time that I've ever heard other people on the street say something against them for their behavior was when I shouted, "Hey, stop being racist," down the street. And got yelled at by them. And then other people on the street started being like, well, what the fuck? You were being racist.
So you were a catalyst. You actually said something, and then other people were like,
yeah. Like Seattle's full of the most passive aggressive fucks. Like I have seen a young 20s aged man beating up a homeless woman that he outweighed by 100 pounds, and I'm the only person that stood up on the bus and fucking stood up to him. And then after the fact, all of a sudden 5 people are like, oh my god, you did the right thing. And that's just the Seattle fucking vibe, right? So like, unless you're willing to actually do the thing, sometimes people are just not going to actually be on board. So you have to be the fucking change you want to see in the world. It's cliche, but you got to do it.
So it is a risk. You take a risk by being the only one to stand up. There is a bystander effect where it's like people go, oh, somebody else will take care of this. Somebody else will do it. But let's get into, Zaxi has arrived. So
here.
I want you to catch us up. Comment on anything. You were in chat. We know this. So
yeah, I was listening. Yep, let's hear.
Give us your thanks.
On the marketplace of ideas, I think that it's an ideal that would be nice if it existed on a real level, but I think it's something that's hard to achieve. And I think we're so polarized right now. and you guys talked about the algorithm. That's part of it, but also I
Mhm.
think people have to take responsibility for that. They seek out the things that they want to back up what they already believe in, and so
Mhm.
we create our own algorithms in that sense. And
Yes.
so I think it's a bit of a cop out to blame the algorithm for things that we're choosing to do. And in
True.
Canada, it's different in the States because you guys are much more polarized. We're over in Canada, we're like kind of retarded, but we're more center and left than right. We don't really have a right wing, I don't think, here. And so like I would vote for different parties like throughout my life, and you can change back and forth, and it's acceptable here. But the ideas are kind of the same. They're not there. We have less. Well, we can float between parties, but the parties aren't all that different. Whereas
So it's like left versus ambidextrous.
kind of, yeah, it's like left versus center, and in the States, it's much different. It's much more polarized. And so when I'm watching your politics in the States, it's always been interesting for me because it's so like emotional. There's so much
It's
hate, love, whatever involved
Yeah.
in it. It's you're going to war, and so when you're going to war, it's hard to be open to other ideas. So the marketplace can't truly exist, I don't think, in that state, because you
I
don't.
feel like the death knell is the fact that we've made like almost a reality TV show out of our political process. And the sad fact is that the whole world tunes into it because of how absurd it is.
And it's the most important
Yes.
reality show in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it has influence on the rest of the world.
And I'm not gonna like shy away from that, but at the same time, like if that same influence were to still exist, but it weren't so hyperbolic, I don't think it would take up as much media space as it does. I feel like there would be a lot more local news worldwide as opposed to the ratio that exists now. But you know,
so you're saying are you saying you would prefer it maybe if people actually cared about the stuff that was closer to home?
I feel like it
spent a
would
bit
be
more time
better.
on that.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be better if the news outlets that people like engage with gave them more information about their local community as well as the world around them.
Yeah.
Rather than focusing on this 24/7 media circus of fucking look at Trump and Biden. Jesus Christ, guys.
But I really, and that really resonates, Zach, the way that you said that we create our own algorithms, because the reason that these algorithms exist is because it plays on humanity. It plays on the way that we work. We are looking for confirmation. We are doing confirmation bias all the time. It's very uncomfortable to find out we're wrong. So all the algorithm does is exploit that fact about us, and we drive it. The algorithm is not to blame. It's that we are still behind it. We're still the ones. We could still go and search for something we've never searched for. Charles?
There's also the Streisand effect. Would Trump have been nearly as popular as he ended up being if the mainstream media hadn't both covered him and lied as much as they did? I certainly think he'd have been popular, but I don't know that he would have been nearly as popular as he is now if he had been treated fairly, or at least a fraction more fairly.
Or taken seriously on the first run.
You're right.
He was like a sideshow for a while that people were. It was funny to have him on because the View would bring him on, and he's basically a Democrat. And they would talk about that stuff, and then now once he won, I think a lot of that shifted to like polar opposite on him.
Well, and even leading up to his presidency, there was the meme of "Stop making me defend Trump" because so many people were lying about him, and you had to actually like represent factual evidence. And like in doing so, you ended up factually defending Trump, even though that wasn't your fucking goal. You just didn't want people to lie.
Yeah, it's just I just know that that's a lie. It's not that I like the guy. I just knew it was a lie.
Making me do it. Yeah. It's true. You can only sit there for so long when you know people are being lied to and not say anything, even if it's against your own interests. Like I think there's a window for all of us where it's like, okay, if you don't shut up, I'm going to have to say something or do something. Like you said, on the bus, a good example on the bus, even though Hollywood has taught me that 100-pound women can beat me up. So that's where maybe we're wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I like the story. But it's true though. There's only so long you can sit there. And in that case with you, everyone else had the longer tether than you have. And good for you.
He's muted. You're muted. I don't know if he's getting peanut
I'm
pie.
here. Sorry, I didn't want to cough. But no, the peanut butter pie has been adjusted. But no, it's really about whether or not you feel like at the moment your principles need to be advocated for. Not every time that somebody violates your principles do you need to stand up. But if somebody's doing so blatantly to a level of excess that you find to be not just distasteful, but again, to use a mode of language, abhorrent, it's up to you to stand up. And if you don't, who's gonna?
Well, okay, so here, let's get into this example, which is fun time. So I think we've gone. Are there any questions you guys think I don't want you guys to be like, oh, we didn't go into this. Please tell me what. Do you guys have any questions you guys want to go over? You want to ask the panel before we go into a practical example?
No, I'm interested in the practical example. I didn't know we were gonna have like a pop quiz on this.
Show and tell? No, there's no pop quiz. Basically, this all goes back to when I think of abhorrent ideas and things like that, and what do we do when we're confronted with just the shit of the internet? What do we do? So I want to go back to my brief stint with Melanie Mack and her people. So I'm gonna have to go scroll a little bit. Zach's might have more or might have stuff prepared, but he's had to step away for a second.
The Tomb Raider enthusiast, Melanie Mack?
Yes. And
okay.
So what I was doing, let's talk about the concept of what I was doing. This on the bus. Okay. Melanie Mack, there were two sweet lesbian ladies, and they had just had a baby, and they're taking their baby home, and they're going coochie coochie coo to the little baby, and somebody says to them, congratulations to the baby on the baby, because it's a very sweet moment.
Yeah.
And then Melanie Mack stands up there and says, stop selling babies to figs. Okay? And instead of me sitting and going, oh, Melanie Mack's so freaking lame, what that's and just looking out the window, instead I decided, let me say something. Why? She's not going to change her mind. Why did I do it? She just irritated me. Because I'm a human, she irritated me, and I made a comment. Okay? And I insulted her. It wasn't like I honestly, my thing is like I didn't drop bombs, but all I said was because she's also very much into God, and I think that this upset me so much, because I was like, this is not godly behavior. This is not. I can't imagine Jesus saying this.
This is hating the sinner, not the sin.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to look for it, but basically what I said to her was, hey, Syfax. That's not what I said, but I said, geez, God must be so proud of you. So God is so proud of you. Like really, really, you must be really proud of yourself. God loves you for this. And I said, you're such a fucking hero. And I guess that's the part that was just mean and unnecessary. But I swore at her because I was angry at her. And sorry, there's just amazing pictures of cats here. I'm still looking for it. Do you have the link to my tweet, Zach's point by any chance? Because I'm scrolling. I talk a lot of shit. Holy shit.
I'm not sure if Zax is aware, but he has no audio coming through on the stream.
Okay.
Better?
Mhm.
There we
Yeah?
go.
There
Yes.
you are.
My kid has been up and down, so that's why I did run
Oh.
and put him back to bed.
Yeah, no stress.
Is he being a whole father?
Yes, exactly. I'm cursed that way. No, I'm blessed that way. So I'll look for the thing, but what got me about this has been what's happening, and I think it's a good, in the context of the conversation tonight, to bring it up, is like these are people that I've learned from, in that, like, the entire group I never associated with directly, but like I'd watch her stuff occasionally. But one of them is Dread Pirate Roberts, he's been on my show. He seemed like a really good guy. I think he is a good person. I don't want to put him down, but he was ended up with that whole group with Melanie Mack and then attacking content. And then the way they came at you, on Twitter, the way she came at that one article was it was hate. Like she was
Yes.
speaking hate, which is not godly. I'm not an expert on it, but it was hate.
Neither.
It wasn't just the words, it was the way she used them and how she called them out to draw attention to these people who had done nothing to her in a hateful way. And your response was not hate. It was saying, like, God wouldn't be super proud of you, you fucking hero. It's like, it's true.
But there was anger, there was disdain there. And people go, oh no, well, they point to Jesus flipping tables and they're like, hey, Jesus had anger, so it's cool, you're fine. It's like, yeah, no, but you could point out hypocrisy there on my part, but her hypocrisy is much bigger than mine.
Are we saying
100%.
she's Jesus? Like, are they equals now? Is that the idea? That
It's might have
Yeah.
The whole point of trying to be a Christian is trying to be like Jesus all the time.
Well,
But,
yes, you should try to be Christ-like, but for any Christian to compare themselves to Christ is blasphemous immediately. Like, right? And to be perfectly honest, if you are going to be giving them that criticism,
oh,
but look, yeah,
That's
visibility
horrible. There it is.
limited.
Okay,
This
you got
post may violate. So you check what happened.
yeah.
Hateful conduct. It is hateful. It was
Well, so-
hateful. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, say it.
So here's the thing. Like they gave that post, right? And your response to them may have ended in "what a fucking hero," but that's not the cut and commentary, right? That's just icing on the cake, where you are just honing into the insult that you've already established. The real deep cut that you made was saying that this person is not acting in a godly fashion.
Yeah, there's
That
hate
is
there. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah.
Well, you are highlighting something that they use as a moral virtue against other people that they are not living up to. That's the deep cut. That's the thing that really hurts them. But then when you point it with the "what a fucking hero," well,
You're asking for shit. Yeah.
well, like
You're
no, I'm not saying that you're asking for anything. That is just that icing on the cake. The "what a fucking hero," I feel like, is just you throwing a playground insult in. God must be so proud of you for this, is you digging into their soul. That's the thing that they are offended
maybe
about.
that's why she replied. That
Exactly.
Yeah. Because what she did say, look what she said. Thank you. I'm very happy to use my voice to speak against this child abuse. Hopefully one day you will too. So she didn't use any swear words or anything like that to me in her response. Her response is she doubled down basically in, no, I'm doing this hate thing that as Zax has said, like, look at this. It's a baby. It's a fucking baby.
So her words are cut now, but can I say what she actually said?
Yeah.
Stop letting these faggots buy babies.
Yeah, stop selling kids to faggots. I don't like that word.
They didn't buy the baby.
I'm getting
by the
stronger,
way.
guys. I'm getting stronger. Words can't hurt me. Okay.
No,
yeah.
well, good, because they shouldn't, right? Like if you interact somebody who's engaging in this hateful conduct, their ability to use language that you find distasteful shouldn't stop you from interacting with them, right?
Yeah.
Like, in fact, if you do let that stop you from interacting with them, and you are doing so in a principled way, well, then you're inhibiting your principles from reaching people that are violating them.
If she looked into this story at all, you could see that like one of these women carried the baby. It was and
And you
used
could
from
see
the
that.
other ones
Yeah.
over them. Like it's they didn't buy this baby on the black market somehow, which is how
One of
what
them
she's implying.
fucking carried
Yes.
it and gave
You
birth
can
to
see
it.
Yes.
you can see she just had a baby.
Yeah.
The one with the baby on her chest.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
looks
Yeah.
like a woman that's just come out of childbirth that is fucking
100%.
exhausted.
And
They didn't
Whatever.
come back from the baby store.
Yeah. And
yeah.
and my thing is like, because what people brought to me as well in the comments and things was like, this happens, you know, like and also, but you know, gay guys do this and they do sell babies and they exploit women to get these children, and it's horrible. And like, yeah, but these people that look at it, how can you look at this and assume black market sale and I need, and you know what, look at them, it's such a joyful post. Congratulations to Christy and Sam on the arrival of their son. Like
Yep.
and you see a picture like this and you just, so I actually was so happy when I saw it. I was like, that's so
Mhm.
sweet, that's so cute. And then I
You're
saw
looking at the whole-
what she said. Yeah, but then I saw what she said about it, and that's what made me, I suppose, stand up on the bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
good way
then
to
look
put
what
it.
happened. But then
I
look what
know.
happened. So she stands up back at me. Okay, she got
Mhm.
12,000 more views. Damn it. She got 12,000 likes. I got 1.1k likes. Okay, so ratioed.
Yeah.
I don't. The replies here to her are like, "Wow, thank you, Melanie Mac." But I've seen maybe the first few replies, and then I turned off the conversation because it was too much. Not that it was too much, as in, I was dying, but it was like it was not worth listening to. But let's see if I'm so committed to the marketplace of ideas.
Right.
Honestly,
So-
I haven't seen many of these replies. So we got 142 replies. There were some people that were in agreement with me. So thanks to those people.
Can I touch on something before you dip into those
Mhm.
replies? Right.
Mhm.
So replies being replies separate from the person that you're directly interacting with. You
Mhm.
gave a response
Yes.
saying what you had to say, and their reply back to you. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but reading this myself, it doesn't seem like it's inviting more conversation from you. It
Yeah.
almost seems like it's trying to be
No.
The trash
like
thing means I don't need to talk to you anymore.
it like the hopefully one day you will too feels like it's supposed to be a mic drop moment. So it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm done with this conversation. Right.
I
So
didn't.
it's
Yeah,
not-
I didn't need to respond to her. I felt no need to respond to that.
she gave you no reason to feel like there is a need to respond or that there is
Yeah.
anything constructive to respond to.
Yeah, she was not inviting conversation. She's like, I'm happy. I'm proud of myself. I am proud. So there you go. What's there to talk about?
So what you saw is somebody throw up a virtue signal, and you were like, that virtue signal is disgusting. I don't agree with it. Here's why. And
That is not
I'm just gonna
virtuous. Yeah.
I'm just gonna make my statement as is. And their response was, well, I'm not trying to engage. What else do you have as an obligation to deal with? You said your piece. It's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Fucking
I guess
like it's not
that
like
is
somebody's
another
gonna
thing.
get hurt.
It's isn't pride a sin? Well, there you go. I guess the fact is, I take responsibility for having said this, because
Right.
this is inviting. This is Twitter. I think the reason that I took the risk was because I was so fucking irritated. Usually it's like, just calm yourself, leave it alone, whatever. But I was so angry with her. We had just spoken about her the night before about grifters. And I was like, she's on my timeline. I had still been following her. So I had lots of emotions to do with this idea that I'm throwing at her, that where I'm like, I could have this judgment of her and not tell her about it. So this is if we're talking about marketplace of ideas, does Chintzia need to share her idea of Melanie Mac with Melanie Mac? No, but Melanie Mac didn't need to share her idea about the figs either. So we interacted and we came to something, and she gave her idea, I gave mine, and then that obviously draws more attention because now I messed with her, and there you go. We got this. Let's see some of the responses here.
Yes.
Uh,
I want to hear some of the responses that you got privately too.
So,
I've deleted a lot of them, but I mean,
No.
a lot of them were were using the F slur, because clearly, guys, if you support happy lesbians, you're a lesbian yourself.
Jesus Christ.
And you're gonna die alone as well. Like, who knows?
Mhm.
Guys, somebody tell Gordon that somehow I'm gonna somehow die alone. So that means he's dying first. So there's that. Sorry for you, Gordon. And also, like, I'm gonna die alone, childless. Thank God I don't want children. Jesus. Like, okay. So anyway,
And
so
it goes
all
to
of those
show
things.
that-
Mm,
It goes to show that insults like that are just thrown mainly to make you feel bad without knowing anything about you. Because if they knew you and how you felt about such
Mm.
things, them saying you're going to die childless would seem like a really fucking stupid thing to say if you're trying to make you feel bad.
Yeah, you need to know
Um,
something about. Yeah, you need to know something about the person.
mhm.
But now, yeah, in the marketplace of ideas, is it wrong to suggest a boy needs a father figure? Absolutely not. That's
No.
not the idea she was
That's not what
suggesting.
she did.
Yeah,
No.
that's not what she did. I am of that opinion. Absolutely. I absolutely
Mhm.
am. But then over there, I'm like, those people, they wanted a child. And you know what? Sorry, if Joe over there, Joe Soap and Mary Jane over there can just go and boink and have a child, and now that they're going to be parents and they're going to ruin a child, that I'm very happy for good parents having children, whether they are the same sex or not. I do know that you would need a father figure and a mother figure. I do hope for that for children,
Yeah,
but that
obviously, and
doesn't mean I'm
that's
going to
ideal.
advocate for hate. Yeah, it's
Well,
ideal. Yeah.
And these two women are like, one is plays for the Australian national team for soccer, the other one plays for the US. Like, these are women who've accomplished things in their life. This kid is going to be absolutely fine. And my ex-wife, this is a long time ago, but she worked in the neonatal intensive care unit at the hospital. She was a nurse, and the NICU unit. And so she would have horror stories, because you get assigned one kid for 12-hour shifts, and not to compare it to, but like, these were kids that they did not have a chance. Even though they would mostly live, but they would come in. She would have babies come in smelling like solvents, and that would take days to get it to go away. These kids never had a chance at a normal life, and their parents were not helping that ride. And you see, like this, like, I don't know, you can hate all you want, but I think that kid's probably going to be fine. And the fact that they're lesbians is probably not going to ruin their life.
No,
exactly.
And I'm going to be this broken record sitting here preaching individualism till the day I fucking die. But like, I'm assuming we can all think of a male human being who would probably be a bit more akin to a mother figure than a father figure. Like, I'm assuming we can all picture a man that would fit the more feminine archetype for how they would interact with their child versus most other men. Would it not be fair to assume that you could probably find women that would fill a more masculine archetype based off their own individual nature, and not necessarily be good at providing a feminine archetype, but be better at providing a masculine archetype? And then, if we're just going in the rules of stereotypes and statistics, maybe we might find more of them in the lesbian community. Just saying. Like,
but wouldn't we can still agree that there's certain energies and you need discipline, but you also need nurturing. You need those things to be present. So if you do have two tough lesbian mommies that are just going to be basically just toxic masculine to you for your whole life, that's not going to help either. And they actually have a son. That's a son. His name's Jaeger. That's a son. So,
well, and I don't know either of them. One of them might actually be a softer feminine type of person, and still also apply themselves to athletics. You never know. Like, that's why it's one of those things, like, we can't assume any of these things, which is This is why Melanie Mack is in the wrong of just looking at the fact of like, hey, here's a
Two women.
situation happening within a demographic situation, therefore am bad.
Mhm.
It's reductive. You
Yeah.
don't know anything about these people, so don't assume judgment. And if you do, we call that shit prejudice.
Well, that's what she's done. Yeah, but she's okay with that, and she's very happy to put that prejudice on these people, and and also use God. Some people, what they're doing is they're using God. So God doesn't support homosexuality. Okay, so that is that obviously that's part of the argument. There is an idea in the marketplace that God doesn't support homosexuality. Go to the Bible and it says they shall surely die, and blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
And I'll argue with God myself when I get there about that, if that's the case. Because it'd be like, God, you're busy here telling me I must love my neighbor, and you love us no matter what, and then now I must now surely stone people to death because they're homosexual. I don't think so. I don't think that God is about that, but that's my belief, right? So I can argue about that. That's part of an marketplace of ideas. So let's see what this person got in response. It's adoption heterosexuals do it. Okay.
The kid wasn't adopted though, so like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
yeah.
The sentiment's
Anyway.
true, but the accuracy isn't.
Sure.
Yeah. So we've got here people are upset about I think that's what they took from there's a few that said you can tone police her, but the reality is homosexuals shouldn't be able to buy children. So this is they got upset because I obviously because I said just wow, Melanie, because that's me getting upset with the way she said it as well. Like I did get upset with her wording because I was like, you are not just making the point that children are being sold or whatever. You are just properly whacking them in the face with that word. And that's what made me feel this. Oh, you're a fucking hero, aren't you? Look at you. You're such an edgy girl using your big word. And they're like, no, you're tone policing her. And it's like, actually, it's not even tone policing. It's just
No.
actually it is tone
It's that I
policing.
don't prefer
suppose.
your. It's that I don't appreciate your form of argumentation. I'm not tone policing you. I'm just highlighting the fact that the way that you're engaging is not up to snuff.
Yeah.
She's also lying because she didn't bother to look into it. Like her whole point was about purchasing children, and that's not what happened here. So she didn't say these people in this picture purchased this child, but she said that attached to that photo, which tells everyone that that's probably how it happened. And most people don't check into that stuff. Look at the comments. And when she replied to you, I want to ask, why do you think she did that? And did you think that she knew by her making a kind of a holier than thou reply that it was setting you up to be attacked? Did you think that she would know that?
What that her she knows that replying to me would get people to see my reply to her, because there were other people that replied to her in similar tones. I was looking for them and they just didn't say because usually I'll go and like if somebody says something, and they just weren't saying it. They weren't expressing it enough for me, so I had to say it myself, right? And the fact that she says that, I can't blame her for everyone's reply. I can't. But she did choose to reply to my thing. I suppose my argument resonated a little. I don't know. I would be mind reading if I thought that her reply was to get people to speak to me.
I don't know if it was to get that, but she would have to know that would be the result of it. But
the thing is, but I guess I know the result of me replying to Melanie Mack is possibly getting Melanie Mack simps jumping on me in any case, even if she doesn't. So, and I, in my emotional state, went past that risk and said, fuck this, she pissed me off. So that's what my humanity did. And then her humanity went, she pissed me off, I'm also going to say a thing. And then everybody else's humanity shat on everyone else's humanity. So, and there are some people here that the fact that you mentioned God here, this is ridiculous. So this makes me think that people who disagree with me, they are disagreeing with me on the God thing. And that's what started really getting me pissed off. Was like, the people that are behind this are God-fearing people. They are really loving the fact that it's about God, and they think they're really championing God's will in that way. And I suppose I am being hypocritical and judgmental and non-Christ-like by saying, yeah, I don't think that that's how you should be as a Christian. So yeah, being part of, yeah, I think also just getting back to God got me on this righteous path, I suppose, and they are being righteous back to me. And yeah, this is ridiculous. So that's what they did here. I think that one's okay.
Well, like, religion is one of the most magnifying and reinforcing influences on tribalism that humanity has had. It's kind of ridiculous how prevalent racism was as a tribalistic factor throughout all of human existence, throughout all of recorded history. And the fact that religion was able to be a tribalistic influence that can overcome racism to unite people, but also exclude all others even further. It is both a motivating factor for people to humanize each other and be a positive motivation for good, but then people can also just fall into the human nature of in-group, out-group bias and just treat people shitty because they are others.
Yeah, that's exactly how we did.
Skirt.
Oh, here's one. You think God proud of you? Accepting degeneracy. So, of course, deciding that lesbianism is degeneracy. Y'all got everything backwards. I don't agree with the diction Mac used, but I agree with how she feels. That's at least nice. He doesn't like that she used a certain word, but also doesn't want lesbians to have babies, which I guess, so that's what people were getting at when we're really hearing from me is that I was upset with her tone most of the time, but all of it. It's hate. It's just, you took the time out of your day to do this, Melanie Mac. Did you feel good?
And I'm noticing a consistent theme, presupposition, where like this guy Jay, right? Like Lamau accepting degeneracy, right? His argument is already based off the fact that we would accept, or whoever's listening would accept that it's degeneracy for it to actually have weight. So yeah, fucking yes, zero fucks. Call her woke right. Piss her off.
So somebody over here gave me, I think she probably says it. She's gonna say it.
Okay, faggot.
Pretty.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Pretty funny.
It is the most bitch-made shit to have an 11-second clip in which you are trying to say faggot and you wait until the last half a second to say it.
I think it's pretty good. That is pretty good. But I think what this person is, she actually is a subscriber, I suppose.
Oh.
This person is. But I think that's pretty funny. You know what? This I can respect that. Because it's like not engaging with me either. It's just being a shit on the internet.
Different
I
context.
can appreciate that too. It's like about how it's applied, right? Like, in this context, it's like, cool, thanks, bro, awesome. What do we do?
Then I guess there's Jake, who's also looking for people that didn't agree, and said she read "Love Thy Neighbor" and thought it meant tolerate wickedness. Also, maybe might be me, that I recommend tolerating wickedness. Okay. This person.
That's so funny. It could be equally applied.
Right.
That like somebody could be critical of you and saying that you read "Love Thy Neighbor" and thought that it meant tolerate wickedness, as that you are tolerating this wickedness of this degeneracy. Oh my god.
Do it.
In the name of, right, but at the same time, like, this person could very well be talking about Melanie Mac and had them see "Love Thy Neighbor" and have that be interpreted as oh, so I'm supposed to tolerate this wickedness. I'm going to do away with this rule when it deems
And
fit me.
And I'm going to use the mean words, the mean names when I do it. We've got the ironic part. Everything you said here is true, although you don't mean it. I don't. Okay. The era of alphabet madness is starting to end. So this is another thing. You see that there is the assumption just by disagreeing with the phrasing of a certain thing, or just with the action of hate. This person assumed all of my ideas. They assumed that I'm part of the alphabet madness just because I don't absolutely hate lesbians. So you if you talk to me about trans things, then maybe you'll call me a TERF or something. But this person completely thinks that I'm just on the rainbow drugs.
I just want to ask, like, because I'm Christian, but I'm not like you are deeply getting into your faith. Is it cool to judge people?
No,
Is
Yeah.
that what we're doing now? Judging?
That's
We should
part
be
of
judging as many people as
Yes.
possible,
And
judging
judge
what you may
people
or may
every
not
day.
think. Right. Okay.
No, but we all
Just don't tell them that I judge them.
We're not supposed to. We're just not supposed to judge them, but we do.
well, it's
But then
about
at the
how
same
you-
time, we've got to be discerning. It's all fucking confusing because at the same time, you've got to be discerning. You've got to stay away from wickedness and notice wickedness. But then you also mustn't be judgmental. You must love people. It's
about how you judge people. It's about how you perform your actions. If you're a Christian, you are encouraged to pray, right?
Mhm.
However, it is also explicitly anti-Christian to pray on street corners. It's how you do it.
Yes. Yeah, you're not
It's
supposed
how
to be
you do it.
praying you're supposed to be praying by yourself.
If
with God.
you don't even necessarily have to be praying by yourself, but if you are praying in a way that you are making it a public display to other people, you're turning it into a vain action, right?
Mm.
It's how you engage
It's
with
about
these
you.
behaviors that really manifests what the moral fiber is.
So let's go. Can you guys find any valuable ideas here? Let's see, because we're engaging in the marketplace of ideas. Like you have the right to speak about the Most High. The Most High will give you any attention. Shut the fuck up, you dumb hoe. Okay, that's hilarious. I honestly, I think that might have been when I turned notifications off because I was like, this is the quality.
Of course it is.
It's
Yeah.
like so the Most High. You're gonna use the Most High? You're gonna start saying that? Oh, okay. Like, and then you're gonna say the Most High is gonna tell you to shut the fuck up. Like, how are you this dense that you're putting so much hate down? On
I'm
here.
calling God on you. That's the response.
It's like, okay, well, I suppose he's still on the New Testament. I suppose hero for what? Grok did not respond. Hero, ah, ha 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 ha. What would be proud? Okay. God doesn't support faggotry. Okay. Well, God, I'm sure God is, to be honest. Do you think he celebrates this crap? Is your God Lucifer? Of course he is proud of the brave and courageous who stand up for kids. So there is the counter argument that okay, this hate or whatever is well founded. There's a good cause behind it. Okay, it's about the kids.
It's hate for a cause.
Yeah. God condemns homosexuality and sending off kids to homosexuality.
Let the furry have an opinion. Sorry, not to skip down, but
I
that
saw
one's
that.
funny.
This is also funny. I enjoyed this one. Shut the fuck up. Like, okay. Thanks for that. Thank you so much for that. This person now is using. I'm misusing his name apparently by mentioning God at all. I'm misusing his name. Okay, but she herself will also do the same thing. That's why I brought him up. He's proud of her. I guarantee it. I think that's kind of an okay response from people. Hippie Christ is fake, and you know a fake God. God condemns this behavior. Oh, Hippie Christ. So that's the thing. Okay. He likes his Old Testament God. Is basically what this person was on about. This person thinks that that's what I'm for. sanctity
So you're
of
not
marriage.
for steamrolling over Christians?
Yeah. Christian values. Yeah. So for some reason, me bringing up Christian values, me bringing up God somehow is this. I'm still waiting. God hates them, so yes, he would approve. Guys. I'm still not losing. I'm not feeling any regret.
You're
God
not?
hates them, so yes, he would approve. Oh, God hates. Okay, yes. Sam is an outspoken man hater. She shouldn't be allowed to parent a young boy. It's child abuse and will impact. That's a better argument.
Sure.
That is a better argument than like she shouldn't be allowed to parent a young boy. I'm okay with you arguing that. Thanks, Aussie Mag.
But like, at what point does your crusade end with the keyboard? Like, if you truly believe these kids are in danger, and all you're going to do about it is post some hateful comments, like, do you actually care? Like, how much do you care? Not enough, I guess, because they're like,
Ooh.
I would want to point to other recent developments of people taking that care a bit too far, with like the whole Ethan Klein CPS call.
Yeah.
People.
that was disingenuous, though. That was not.
Oh, of
because they're
course,
worried
of
about his
course.
kids, yeah.
Well, I would say that this is also disingenuous, saying that, you know, just because they're a lesbian couple that they shouldn't be able to raise a boy. And granted, that the question is of being a man hater, but I also haven't seen evidence of that. So unless the accusation is backed up with some evidence, then, you know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, okay, you're a bad parent.
There's something here which actually did get me a bit worried because my friends saw my Twitter and they messaged me. A lot of people messaged me and said, "What the fuck's going on your Twitter? You're being dragged. What the hell's going on?" Because obviously people see if there's activity with someone you're following, you'll see something like that. And I'd already muted it by this stage. But they were like, no, they really are going after you. So I'm like, yeah, and you must see the DMs and things. Now there's someone here. Remind us again of the laws regarding homosexuality in the UAE. That worried me. I was like, I'm probably going to get fucking deported. People are crazy enough that they could try and get the government to come after me for doing this.
Yeah.
And I would not be the only person in my country to have this view. And I'm not going to go in this. I'm not going to go and now protest in this country because that's just stupid. But I'm looking at an American and what an American is saying, and I'm telling her to shut the fuck up, basically. So yeah,
it is frustrating when you see that reply with that flag next to it, as to whether or not somebody might feel motivated to actually, you know, say something about you.
Yeah, I was worried. And they were like, and Carl was like, no, they won't be that crazy. I'm like, I don't know.
You didn't take a position on the whole gays having kids thing at all. You just said that you didn't appreciate her approach and her language.
Yeah.
You called her out for that. You didn't say I love gays with kids. You didn't say that.
Yeah. No, but the fact that I didn't, you know, join in on the mob, I suppose is bad. She's right though, literally and morally. You on the other hand, that's fine. Shut your bitch ass up. That's pretty funny. Thank you, epic freaking Aaron. God didn't create Eve and Eve, so he will be proud of her. My mom would have said that, but I don't think he would. My mom would not be proud of that wording. My mom would be like, God didn't create Eve and Eve, but she wouldn't use that word either. Okay, so there's a different kind of Christian out there that also will just be okay. You do fix your skin. You look like a fucking reptile under all those layers of makeup.
Ooh.
I saw that one. And I was like, oh, if only you knew, honey. That was it. That my profile picture is me wearing makeup though. But I don't know if you're talking about Melanie Mac there though. Melanie Mac would be a better mother than you. Okay. Yes, probably. Because I don't want to be a mother.
What's up, Adega?
Hey, Adega. He frowns on homosexuality. That's fine. That's all good. The fall of Sodom. Okay, so this is now somebody going to appeal to the Bible. Fall of Sodom and Gomorrah wasn't because of sin; it was the acceptance of sin and promotion. If no one calls out sin, we will fall to the same fate, and we would deserve it. It's a counter argument. I'm respectful of that. Being gay is a sin. What did you say about God again? Oh, he thinks that you think that I haven't. Do you think that my Christianity is so shallow that I haven't thought about these things? That I haven't gone and wrestled with my liberal ideas versus the Bible. Oh, honey. Okay. Cool. What was that? And you know what? Anyway. Jesus was loving his neighbor, then he flipped those tables. Okay, cry harder, Karen.
Ooh, that gotcha, huh?
And no, we do not want to be cats. That's cute. That person actually looked at my whole profile, guys. They looked at my bio.
Nice.
They hovered over and they looked at my bio. Cry more. Yes, God is proud of her for not being a. Oh, you can't even type it out properly though. Fuck you. There's a good one. There's absolutely nothing normal about gay people adopting children. Don't message the cracker dude. LMAO, ruining children's lives. Please be grammatically correct when you're shitting on me. God does not support homosexual sickness. If they want a baby, they shouldn't be lesbians. God isn't real. So there's that, dipshit. They are creatures. What has this world come to? Makes me cringe so bad how this led it to happen. God's name is holy. It's not right that you use it in such close proximity, that obscene word.
What?
Okay, is this person agreeing with me that I'm speaking about God's name near that F word? Okay.
You didn't. Oh yeah, that's an attack on you. But okay, sure. I think what you didn't do, which I should have done for you, is call her a witch. Right? She's probably a witch. She looks like a witch. I feel like she's casting spells. Let's see what we can do. Look at all these thralls she has. All these men are slaves to her.
Disappear already. We're tired of this mental illness. So this happened a lot. Is this assumption of that I'm part of the mental illness just because I'm not for hating on lesbians. I'm everything that the left is.
Right.
Fucking idiot. And God would be happy about what's happening. Shut the fuck up, please. At least he said please. God is forgiving, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, this has not been. Oh. You saw Bible Girl vs. Gays and chose poorly. High five. I guess this is supposed to be. You see? Here is the massive assumption that I'm okay with this. That I'm okay with transitioning people and whatever.
The fuck is that?
That's from to get a penis. That's what happens.
Oh,
they use skin from your arm to make a penis.
That's probably not going to work.
Yeah. So that's what they've decided that I'm on board with, is mutilating people.
Wow.
Sweet. Yeah. Funny how you'll hide behind the name of God yet you propagate ungodly stuff. That's what I was trying to say about her.
Oh, what did I just walk back into? Sorry, my headset died for a little bit.
Oh God, that picture. Okay, and he is, if you don't believe, you can off yourself and ask him. Jeez, that's nice.
Okay. I don't think that works that way, does it?
Ugly ducks hates men, hence will hate the boy. Okay, so that's an counter argument I said I would be okay with. Nothing heroic about denying a poor child their mother or father. We've said it, that woman is the mother, okay, because you support the accommodation of children. The commodification, I don't support the commodification of children. I'm also not for that.
You never said anything about it.
Go fuck yourself, evil bitch! Children need mothers and fathers, not two of each!
You didn't say that either. You never said that. You never said any of this stuff that they're reacting to.
Shut up, bitch! God, hey, okay, you're defending child abuse, fuck off. Okay, so now it's like, okay, I'm going to use the Bible. Do not have sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman. That is detestable.
Don't quote Leviticus.
If a man has sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Not all books of the Bible are created equally. And if you're going
Oh
with Leviticus,
no,
it seems like
no,
there might be a moral motivation.
no. I think this over here, it completely knocks me out of the window. I had no idea that was in the Bible.
No,
I had
no
no idea, and
way.
I'd never ever encountered this idea in Christianity. I never even rejected Christianity because of this, and then came back to it later,
Mhm.
understanding it, and
Is
never had a whole journey with Christianity.
regarding
Mm.
that first one, is it fair to say that neither of the women in the photo had sexual relations with a man?
That's not a guarantee
That's
of the
good.
situation.
No,
Pixar, it didn't happen. Just saying.
are you a retard? God does not condone. There's so much in the Bible that God actually doesn't neither condemns nor confirms. Like there are people that are guys. Did you know you can pay for your prostitute with a goat? So that's also in the Bible.
Sweet.
So
Oh my
yeah,
god.
just make sure that you pay her
Yeah, it's
and
legal
listen.
tender.
You can give your prostitute an IOU and give her the goat
Right.
later.
If only I knew when I was in high school living on a dairy goat farm that I could have moved up to Seattle, up to Aurora, and became a pimp. Oh man,
Goats.
holy shit. That would have been great. I'd have been set for life.
How many goats does it, or how many hand jobs can you get for a goat, do you think?
I mean, like, if you can pay for your prostitute with a goat, I think you can get more than a
Yeah.
hand job, just saying.
I'm just saying you get
We're
more.
talking
Like you
pygmy
get
or
over
regular?
time. I'll take 10 hand jobs for a goat, right? Is that a fair deal? What are goats for sex?
So I guess let's bring it back. All of that was fun and entertaining. Like we didn't even get to like this was. I don't feel. Geez. Oh, here's one. Hey, cunt! You fucktards are the devil. Don't speak about God. Okay.
I mean, they've got a point.
Yeah, I suppose I really shouldn't. I should shut up. But yeah, I guess bring it back to the marketplace of ideas. Was this a marketplace of ideas in practice, guys?
Sort
I
of.
mean-
I mean, that's Twitter doing its thing.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's a slice of the marketplace of ideas, but
Mhm.
to say that it is representative of the concept, I feel like is not accurate.
And what do you think of me muting the conversation? Because Zach's was like, "Yo, this you should look at this," and I'm like, eventually, because there was just no, there was nothing of substance, and I also had said what I wanted to say, and I wasn't really going to engage further. I knew all of the counter arguments that were going to come at me from Christians themselves. And I'm just not going to have that argument with them because they believe a certain way and I believe a different way. They're not going to convince me. I'm not going to convince them. So I muted the conversation because also, geez, okay, I'm not used to having that many replies to anything. But then I did get the DMs. We'll talk about that afterwards. But muting the conversation was me disengaging from their marketplace, walking out of their store, I suppose, because I was like, I'm not interested in your stuff here. I came in here and I suppose I dropped my my idea that maybe God doesn't like us hating on other people. I dropped it there for anybody to pick up, but some people picked it up, but everybody else kicked it, I suppose. Engaging with them is futile. What's the point in arguing with a brick wall? Yeah, but I suppose couldn't you say that I'm being hypocritical because I am for the marketplace of ideas, so I should interact with people?
No,
But
I
you're
don't.
not
I don't think that
required
you're
to.
being.
Oh, so we're
Yeah,
not required.
Sorry, I want to hear what Gray has to say because I
No,
agree
it's
with what
basically
he
just
started with.
that. Like, you're not required to is basically where I was going. What were you going with, Glente?
That along the same lines that you're not required to engage with that sort of behavior past a certain point. If you have done your due diligence, you've engaged with responses, and in this thread, after you tried to engage, all you're experiencing is people not engaging with what you said and just shitting on you, like
Yeah.
for shit that you've never said, just making shit up about you. Like, I don't blame you for turning that conversation off.
Yeah, if they aren't, this is basically what RJP is saying. If they aren't actually trying to have a conversation, there's no point in responding, even looking at what they have to say. And you know what? My response was not trying to have a conversation either, actually, because I was like even that little emote of just throwing trash. That's basically what I was doing with her by responding in that manner. Yeah, and that is what it is.
At the same time, like, when you were throwing shade back at them, right? Like, what were you engaging with? You were engaging with what was being said by Melanie Mack directly. You may have been, I guess, less than
charitable.
Sassy. Yeah, and let's be honest, like, I'm a Seattleite. Fucking, I can understand when you're approaching the argument without directly approaching the argument. But at the same time, there were no words put in your mouth, put in her mouth by you. What you did was hold them to the standard that they espouse for themselves, and hold the mirror to them. Other people were responding to you, bringing in outside shit that you've never said nor never espoused for, into debunk what you never said. And so there's a big
I don't need to, because like if you guys were under the impression that I am running around with rainbow flags everywhere, and wanting to trans the kids, then I would take the time to change your mind, or change your mind about me, because that's the only thing I can do. I can't change your mind. I don't think that's it. But so Fishmonger says, I don't think any of in the shit flinging exchange, which was what we looked at, necessitates Jordan Peterson's dark tetrad Lucifer blah blah blah. It wasn't that deep. I'm looking for an angle to ask if it's his ever testicles. Okay, how do we make that angle, guys? How do we do that? I require it of you guys to find the angle, and then I'll answer.
So, Kitty,
try and relate it.
College? Like, did you ever go to college?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, how was that? Did you ever do any like partying? Or, like...
No, how does that have to do with the marketplace of ideas?
Oh. Well, I was going to say, can you truly comment on these two women being together if you've never actually been with a woman?
There you go. Goodness. That makes sense. That's a good one. Yes, I have.
Yes.
Well, yeah, of course I have.
We did it, boys.
How do you not? That's all I'm saying. How do you not?
Good question.
Yeah, it's difficult. I don't know how anyone could stay away from girls. How do you not? There you go.
Well, I mean, I think there would be many a gay man that would tell you that it's very easy.
It's gross. I mean, I've never done that. You've never kissed a girl? Oh, true. Your girlfriend is just sitting there, just not getting anything. So, guys, what I wanted to say is, Galente, are you on your way out?
I am, but no stress. It's fun. Do what you got to do.
But I'm very proud of Zax for making it part of the conversation. But where were we? There was something else I was going to highlight. It was about the dark tetrad and dark triad and whatever. So what this brought up for me, though, is the certain shut the fuck ups and things like that. I guess that is, you can't say those are all psychopaths. Absolutely not. But there is something to be said for the internet bringing the worst out of us. It brought the worst out of me there because I commented. Meow. What's this? So is my wife doing a think as well? I don't know. You have a wife? MSK? You managed to convince a woman.
I was about to say the
Immaculate.
only way that's an appropriately asked super chat is that if that's like Gordon in disguise.
No, that's MSK.
Oh, I
Gordon
know,
would
I
not
know.
super chat. I'm a psychopathic.
No.
I am a psychopathic parasite because I said a thing on the internet.
No, Gordon would
And I
super
said
chat.
fucking hero because you know I was what's the name? What do you call it? I was diminutive. I made her like because remember they call him Jimmy. They call James Lindsay Jimmy, and that's a diminutive thing. So I was like, "Oh, you're a fucking hero," which is kind of there's an insult. I dismissed her. So according to that definition, I suppose I'm part of them. So I guess the
I have thoughts.
I feel like there's a different moral weight. Like if somebody is just being demeaning to somebody else for no fucking reason, which let's be honest, I feel like is exactly what Melanie Mac did. Then that's one thing to be able to criticize. There is also something to criticize for somebody being demeaning to somebody who is also being demeaning. However, it's significantly less. You know, so if somebody's going to criticize you for being demeaning to Melanie Mac in this instance after they were being demeaning for no fucking reason, and that was your motivating factor for being demeaning to them, then you know it's kind of hypocritical.
Oh, morally,
it's kind of hypocritical to call you out for that shit. Just saying.
Okay. But now just think, expect a civil discussion. What must be expected? So just thinking about it, first of all, yes, I can make spaghetti. I don't know if it'll be as nice as my mother's, but okay, I'll make spaghetti. Yeah. But now just thinking about it, with the psychopath thing, okay, people that went into my DMs. Right. What do you think about that?
It's next level. I think it's
I think it's
just
extra.
responding to comments. Yeah,
I think it's
That's
extra.
Weird.
It's like it's the way I equated it. Weird. The way I equated it was like it's like, so say we're in a crowd, because if we're going to do this marketplace of ideas or this public square idea, okay. So Melanie Mac came up there and she stood on the podium and she said blah 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 if whatever. So I came and said to her, I pointed at her and said, no, that's not nice. Okay. And then, oh, MSK. To be fair, I went into your DMs as well. Yes, but you didn't tell me, hey, come sluts, go fuck yourself. You didn't do that, MSK. You didn't do that. Fuck. You said hi and you introduced yourself. So, that there was that, and you had followed me and you had interacted with me in public that in that way. But okay, so this is if we're going public square. Also, Galente, sorry, should I let you go?
Yeah, I do have to work tomorrow. It is Friday for me, and a beautiful 3-day weekend rather than a 1-day weekend. I'm so looking forward to it.
Nice.
Enjoy.
It's gonna be wonderful. I'm gonna clean the house and shit.
Clean out your fridge with all the birthday eats.
Believe it or not, my fridge is relatively clean and is mostly full with birthday eats. But yeah, no, it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna enjoy this weekend. And
enjoy your birthday week.
I enjoyed my birthday. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. I do have an issue with the whole birthday week thing.
I decided you don't.
What
is your birthday month?
It's a birthday. It's in the name. It does what it says on the tin. Like it's a day. But thank you guys. I really
happy birthday, Galensu.
Thank you. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. And good sleep for
have
all
a good
of you
night.
Guys. Yeah. Well, bye.
Bye.
I got a couple things I want to respond to about what you're saying, Kitty, if that's okay.
You go.
First off, Jimmy has never played a sport before, because if he had, he would know that what you get your nickname is your name with a Y at the end, and that's a badge of honor you wear for the rest of your life. And it's true. That's what we do. We added it. Y, especially in Canada, you get a Y on the end of your name, first or last, and that's it. That's you. If possible, cut your last name in half. Or sometimes we add it, so Smith would be Smitty. That's just how it works. And so if
I
Jimmy
like
doesn't like it,
calling you Zaxi.
see,
I
it
really enjoy
works.
it.
You're already Kite, so you've got that kind of covered, right?
I've covered it. Yeah.
But it's true. It's not like it's not a demeaning term. Maybe it is for him, but generally it's not. Like, you don't see that as a demeaning term. It's a term of familiarity to show that, like, I know this person. I can call them whatever I want. I can call them pussy if I want to.
But they are using that against him by saying, you are not above me. So what they're doing with that by calling him Jimmy Concepts or whatever, it is demeaning, but it is, and that familiarity is an insult. It's because it's like, you put yourself above me, Mr. James, but I have now brought you back down to my level by calling you Jimmy Concepts. And to him, and that's interesting. I find that very interesting. I find it interesting to find the way people find ways to insult each other. It's very cool. It's very psychological and whatever. But okay, like when yours is cum slut.
Cum slut's worse than Jimmy, right?
Yeah,
cum slutty would be.
Like, I was like, wow, that's a tough one, hey? Just the way it sounds. Just cum and slut. Like, they're really, really heavy words.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I was gonna say also this like fits into the theme of marketplace of ideas, because like I was kind of like friends with some of these people. And I thought that I would be happy to associate with them. And then, like, because the marketplace of ideas, I see some of their ideas come out. And I'm like, oh, fuck, these are not people that I want to hang out with anymore. And so I can make that choice without having to, like, confront them about it. That's whatever. But, like, I've, would have easily tried to have her on a show. But I don't want to. But after seeing this, no chance.
I guess that is what we want. And one of the earlier things that we were talking about in one of the earlier comments we got in chat was, show me the retards so I can avoid them. Right. So it's like, okay, that obviously we're talking about other kinds of ideas where it's there. I know that's sorry. That is Matt Duff. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Hope you're here for the next thing. Tardicus exposicus. Yes, that's it. So I suppose you want that. You want to know who to stay away from, and and there are ideas that would make me not want to associate with people. There are those kinds of ideas that but you don't always see them. It might take a while for them to be exposed.
Right.
And I don't know. Is that okay? I think it's okay. It's not hypocritical to have lines that you draw. Otherwise, then what? We must all associate with each other, and everything is allowed.
Then nothing ever gets done. You're yelling at each other all the time. So, and like you can have all these concepts, and you can be, talk about these ideas, but then you still have to live your life. So, yeah. I don't think you should isolate yourself from these other ideas. In fact, it's up to you. It should be up to you as a person to investigate your own ideas, where they came from, and then challenge yourself with seeing ideas on the other side. I think most people don't do that. I try to do that. I'm not saying I'm good at it, but at least be conscious of it.
Yeah, I think that's all we have to do is take our own responsibility in this milieu, this whatever, this environment. I think that's the only thing we can do. Jimmy, what? Jimmy. But are Jimmy concepts? I don't know. Zach's spitting. He always spitting.
What's up, Rex? Yeah. I watched the Hassan Piker response to President Trump and the South African president today, and so for that, I want to get his side, even though I fucking hate the guy. I want to hear what he has to say about this stuff. And he hadn't even watched the video when he was giving his commentary, so I walked away from that because he was pointing out stuff that wasn't actually in the videos. And so he didn't even bother to take the time to watch it.
So he was
got it.
not even reacting to the thing. Like
No.
that's what you're supposed to do with React content. You got to have it in front of you and react to it, not to things
Right.
around it only. Aw.
Yeah, it was
So
rough.
what was he talking about?
So he focused on the clips that Trump was showing to the president and showing that the people in the clips wasn't the president. And he was saying Trump can't tell black people apart.
Oh wow.
That was his whole
Yeah,
thing.
And you know what? I really need to. I'm with you, Dildo. How will Trump survive that?
I know.
Zax, how is he gonna live his life?
How will he live? I guess he'll detain or fake detain Hassan at the airport next time. I don't know. But like I try to listen to that stuff, and I just after a certain time when I realize he hasn't even watched it, it's like, okay, I can't. I'm done. with
Well,
this guy.
that's a really shitty argument against it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, that's not even him. But he's confronting him
Right.
with what is being allowed in his country, Hassan.
Yeah, that's what it is. If you watch it, you would know that because they all talk about that in response.
Yeah,
to
they
each
all
other.
say it. They do. Their response is that that's not us. First of all, it's a small minority. It's a minority party, whatever. So then what all the South Africans were doing. That's why I was so blackpilled yesterday. I was offline. I could not, because I was supposed to stream later and I actually didn't because I was just like, no, this is not. I need to spend some time away from this. Yeah, not today. Yeah. Although I saw a lot of stuff online and I was like, the algorithm would appreciate it if you made a video about this. And I was like, no, because I'm too angry right now. And after this, I feel a little bit better. But yeah, in terms of the marketplace, it actually does relate to the marketplace of ideas, because what Trump is, I suppose, saying is that this is allowed. You guys are letting this be a thing. You are not calling it out enough. You're not condemning it enough. It's not that you must now go and say that they can't say this. It's that you're just allowing it. If you know what I'm saying, you're not saying that's stupid or anything like that. That was the first time. This was the first time. When this video was shown to him, that he actually said the song was a bad thing. He's never, Ramaphosa, the president, he's never said that song was a bad thing. Usually it's, get over it. It's a struggle song. Blah blah blah. Hug the boer. Yeah. That is literally that was one of the arguments that Julius Malema gave, where it was like no. We changed it to kiss the boer, the farmer, kiss the boer instead of kill the boer. So
it has kind of a cool beat to it, and the machine gun sounds are awesome. Yeah.
It's really good. It's a good song.
I like it. Great song.
But that people are like, you guys shouldn't be so happy about this. I'm like, but it's a good song. It is good. Kiss the Boer is also weird. You know what? I think it's Kiss the Boer is they are homophobic people, so it would work. But also black people are homophobic in South Africa, so there's that.
But on the DL, they don't mind it.
Just to play devil's advocate, would you get upset if someone showed the president of the United States a KKK rally saying, why do you allow this? What should the SA president do? Well, the SA president, you're right. A KKK rally, like what? Where is this KKK rally? Are members of that KKK rally in the Senate? Because that's what's happening. That's right. The context of what happened with Julius Malema. Julius Malema is in Parliament, so he's actually got a voice in Parliament. So this isn't just the marketplace of ideas, like everybody's ideas, like us talking right here. This is actually representation in governments. And I mean, that's why I would ask. I mean, there are parties that do you allow the Nazi Party to have representation? Because if you're okay with the marketplace of ideas, does that mean you have to go all the way to Parliament with that?
No, I don't think so. I also think that for this,
fight against it.
It's a weird example because that would not happen. And this guy, I've been following this story a little bit. I know a little bit, a very small amount about it, but like he has 9% of the vote. That's a minority, but it's not a small minority to me. That's a lot of fucking people who.
Oh, and part of the thing that they were trying to say to Trump yesterday is that, well, we've got this government of unity, of a national unity or whatever. We've made a coalition because we're not
Yeah.
just a two-party thing. We've made a coalition so that these guys don't have that much of a sway in our country. And it's like, but you needed that. And what
Right.
happens if you do have people that believe that? What happens when the majority says, you know what? And then we could have apartheid again. What
Well, the
happens when it
Nazis never
becomes
even had a
legal?
majority. You don't need a majority.
Mm,
And
I guess,
10% of the
you
population
just
is a lot of fucking people that could rally behind something and do some serious damage if that's their belief. You don't have to elect
Yeah.
them. So it should
That's
be
true.
a concern, right?
I got some joyful replies if we're talking about marketplace of ideas
Ooh,
of this
nice.
stuff yesterday, because I posted, I said, you guys, because I replied to some I replied to a South African that had commented about, basically they had said, now the world knows, because it was very embarrassing, it feels like, for that confrontation to happen in front of everyone. And I was like, I don't think that these politicians actually have shame in this. They're not ashamed of what's going on. And I got some people that that were just telling me that no, there isn't violence because of this song, so people should get over themselves. Yes, stop being sensitive because it never incited violence. I would understand if it did, but it hasn't. It's quite interesting, because if we're talking about marketplace of ideas, I got this idea from the marketplace, and it led me to go and do violence. Who is to blame?
Right. You are.
you're still to blame. You made the decision.
Yeah.
You let the idea in. You decided that this was a good idea. So don't
And
now.
the problem is not all ideas are equal. And
Mhm.
some can be super damaging for the wrong people. So yeah, I think there has to be some kind of limits, and that would be judged by, I guess, by your majority of the population, which is what's acceptable and what's not, which is why it's okay in South Africa to sing that song, because the majority has decided now it's good, it's fine to do that, and we'll change the
Yeah.
words.
No, don't even. We'll change the words. We'll change the meaning. But then
Yeah.
there's double standards in terms of speech in South Africa. It's just, yeesh.
And so I don't know what this is. And so in the chat, there's a fishmonger. The first white South Africans were Nazis who fled as German felt. Well, no, because the Dutch were there in like the 1600s, were they not?
Yeah, there was no
family
Nazi
got
party.
it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
No.
talking about.
No, that's why Afrikaans exists.
Right.
Because the Dutch went there. That's why.
Right.
Yeah, they had a whole Potjiekos, yeah. They had a whole culture beforehand. And that's also part of why I was like kind of really, Fish is trolling. He's
Okay.
trolling because it's what people had. For
Fair
history
enough.
lesson, Nelson Mandela had his fingers crossed when the Truth and Reconciliation Commission said they were going to squash the beef. It's, you know what, it would be interesting to see if they really do want to get rid of white people in South Africa, if they could try and get citizenship for people in their old countries.
Right.
Try and do that. So I guess my husband would get UK citizenship or Dutch citizenship. You would have to really go very far back.
Go far back.
For what makes a person a citizen of a country. Like he's never been. We can understand a little bit of Dutch, but it's not Dutch. There's generations and generations of people that were in South Africa. It's like, so how do we do a great reset for where everybody spawned when they arrived on Earth? Everyone has to return to their spawn point.
Right.
Yeah, their ancestors' spawn point. Yeah, I don't know how far we're gonna. No honkies allowed. I love the term.
No
honky.
honkies.
I really should. Especially the way that you spell it, Dildo. I don't know. You see how I just watched Chappie? I need to rewatch it. if we go back far enough, we all come from Africa anyway. So occupy Africa is basically what it means. And you know what? Go to South Africa, where the cradle of humankind is. So go there. Go to South Africa. That's where you deserve. Africa is for everyone. There's somebody on Twitter I follow. His name is I'm an African, and he's a white person, and ooh, that triggers people.
But they hate that, huh?
So, guys, conclusions. I know that Zaxi will need to go to bed. Just by the way, now that you have the blobfish up there, DM.
Yep.
I know you don't use WhatsApp, but WhatsApp has stickers, a sticker pack that is all blobfish.
Hey.
So I thought you should know that. So yeah,
Blobfish approves.
Yeah. Anything else on the marketplace of ideas? I think maybe just remember, considering what we've shown as our practical example, Twitter's not the only marketplace of ideas out there, and figure out, maybe one of the main tips is figure out whether you are engaging in the marketplace of ideas, or if you're just throwing shit at each other, which is kind of what I was doing.
Blood sports.
I had to recently. My mom was visiting for a couple of weeks. Love you, Mom. And I've tried to. Over the 2 weeks, I explained to her, tried to and she didn't like it at all. But like how she's like regurgitating this media stuff, and how they're subtle they are about it, and how it's so easy to just repeat it. And it's not exactly right, but it's not a complete lie. But it's just like they present things like it killed this many Palestinian children were killed according to the Hamas Authority, and the Israel claims that the
Hamas Authority,
right, but Israel claims without evidence that they were targeting soldiers. That's so
they do target soldiers. They don't target civilians.
Right.
They in fact drop thousands and thousands of leaflets warning civilians.
I know,
beforehand.
But that's what the point I tried to make. But also, the news presented as Hamas telling the truth, no evidence on the Israeli side. And that's what you're hearing all day on the news, and it's into your head, and it works your way in. You're like, okay, well, they're telling you how to think about it without you actually,
because they're giving you the facts. They're telling you what is a fact and what isn't.
Right.
Hamas is time and time again guilty of the exact things that everyone claims Israel is guilty of. It's ass backwards.
Yeah. Thought control, yeah.
Well, but yeah, from that was one of the questions, which is misinformation, that scary word. But it actually is quite difficult to find the truth, the exact truth, anyway, even with so much access to information, because there's so many people that can give you all different kinds of stories. I mean,
you can literally watch videos of Hamas chopping the heads off babies to cheering Palestinians, and they'll accuse Israel of doing just that. So, not a lot of misinformation out there. Yeah,
but it's subtle. It's not blatant as that. It's just in the use of the language, how they use it. It's insidious, really. And you have to check yourself on it and the people close to you, I guess.
Yep.
Aw, Zax, your hair looks beautiful.
Yeah,
she's not talking to me for sure.
Oh,
she's
it's
not
talking to Gray. Yeah,
the Gray makes sense. Yeah.
Double plus. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna reread. Because there's so many things I need to read. I've got to read the dirty books as well. My friends are really pushing me to read them. I've got too much reading to do. But yeah, I think we are through the topic. I think everybody's sleepy. Zaxi, are you going to leave us and not draw with us again?
Yes, probably. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Probably will. It's 1:00 here almost, so I should probably get out of here. But I was later than I wanted to tonight.
Yeah.
No, but my kid would not settle, and it's just he's a 9-year-old. He shouldn't get till midnight. It's wild.
You should sell him. There's lots of lesbians out there that really want a child, and clearly that's what you're for, because you agreed with me, right?
Yes. Can I take him back? Is there if I kept the receipt?
There's no returns. No. That's one of my favorite things when people are like, you want a child? I'm like,
Oh, Miss Sparkles wants to wrestle. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be Friday. I think I might be on with Nadia. I believe
Yay!
she's covering Stranger Things again, and so Friday, I think 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Central, something like that, and then Saturday night, Circle of Jerks. I'm hoping Kitty's gonna be there. I'm hoping.
Yeah, why not? Oh, actually, I'm having
yeah.
a big night out on Saturday, so I don't know if
wow.
I'll be. You know what? Hungover Kitty might be there because I
I'll
I
take
seem to wake up and go back to bed anyway. I go back to bed afterwards, so yeah.
Well, if
Okay.
you can make it, that's great. If not, that's cool too. So,
We will be
Hungover
godly.
Kitty is fine. What?
We will be godly on Circle of Jerks. That's what we do.
We'll be very godly on Circle of Jerks. That's it. Everything we do there is definitely kosher.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all good, and it's all for Sundays. So that
Yeah.
and also guys, check out What's Good Wednesdays as well. I'm late. When am I coming back on? Oh, what's Gucci? No, you're not coming back on.
Oh, he's done. He's canceled. Get out of
Yeah.
here, Matt.
Well, after the
Zaxby?
squirt comment.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you. I'll be here
See
next
ya.
week. Bye.
Thanks, boy.
Have a good one. I do not
Right.
have any good picks for a hungover kitty.
You know what? That's fine.
Sure
you
you
don't
do.
need them. You don't need them. It's just basically me with swollen eyes that are even more swollen than usual, and hair that isn't brushed. So there's that. Guys, are we ready to get into the drawing part of this section? We are done thinking, guys. We are all just gonna draw. Nay. Garlic phone. Yes or no?
Garlic phone. Sure.
Okay. That's an overlay, not a background. I'm going to turn it to garlic phone. Just see unsubscribed, Mad. Okay, well you've got a membership there, so it's gonna get out. Oh yes, we're gonna also we've also had floating the idea of member chosen think topics. So think about
Nice.
that if you are thinking of not renewing your memberships that Shippy gave you.
Well, there you go, man. Maybe you should come up with a topic for us to all think about, and maybe you'd be invited.
Okay, is the music okay? Who became a member? Unsubscribed. I was cursed with this membership. Putting the fun in refund. I love that, Davina. Okay. Is the music okay? Is my audio okay? Because sometimes when
Yeah.
okay, let's get some garlic.
I think it's at a good level.
Uh-oh. Gartic phone. Go.
Is it doing the thing?
Lord Cameron brings up a very valuable piece of information.
Oh, that's true. I was robbed of a boob think.
You know,
Well, think so.
nobody can stop you from having a boob think.
By yourself. Boob think. Yeah. I guess we could do that for 102. The music is quiet. Yeah, that's fine. We don't need it. I can't think except by proxy. Okay. Let's go. No, hold on, I'm just getting a link. Sorry, guys. Do you know that if you go to garlicphone.com, you can actually go and see streamers that are playing Garlic Phone? So if you ever want to just
No.
carry on playing,
Huh.
there you go. Go on
So
there.
in theory, people could have seen that we were streaming this. So we could have had extra guests, but still we didn't.
No, I have to go to Twitch and change it to Gartic Phone. Change the game to Gartic Phone, because at the moment we're just politics or whatever. We're just chatting. Let's see. I think I can change it. Edit stream info. Talk show and podcast. No, let's put it to Gartic Phone. There you go.
Come on,
I've
people.
changed
It's
it.
your time to participate.
I read Stranger in Strange Lands about 2 years ago. Great book. I can't be reading books, man. I need to learn how this game works. Well, watch out. It's broken telephone. It's
Drawful might be better,
Present.
but come on, Creamage. What we got is Gark phone.
yeah.
Pick up a clove. Join the game.
It's great. It's fragrant.
Atheist Gamer is correct, by the way, regarding the topic that's going out on in chat right now.
Well, we're going to the lighter side of life. Guys, I touched
Come on,
grass
people.
yesterday. I swam. There's so many
They've
things
got
that
grass there?
yeah.
Nice.
Takes a lot more water. I can't participate. The onion is repellent.
Ah,
Come on.
Come on.
Diddle-dee-dee-diddle-dee-dee.
Anyone gonna share the link in chat?
we did a couple times.
Yeah.
People just are too scared. But yeah. Come
Where
on.
is Darling?
Join us. It's not the same without Darling.
It's not.
Rosales.
No.
Maybe
BMO.
I think Zach's will be happy with how things work in Alethi culture because he doesn't want men reading. Zach, Zach, have you read Stormlight Archive? There you go. Well, oh, no, he hasn't. Obviously, he abhors reading. So there you go. But
There are a lot
in there,
of
men
words
don't read.
to be against. Yes.
Thanks, Melanie.
Hey,
Yeah. Hell yeah. Melanie Mack came to join us.
Woohoo!
Come on. Be like Miss Mack here. Join the game.
I saw a book yesterday called Building Nazi Germany in the architecture area. I was like,
Huh.
Marketplace of ideas. Here we go. I mean, you got to know stuff, how it works. Charles is not here to laugh at me doing that. Lame.
Yeah, and he would participate in the saxophone solo as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad. Rest in peace.
Book Talk prefers romantasy. Oh, yes.
It's always
As the
romantasy.
term romantasy. So romantasy. Yeah, my friend's like finished ACOTAR and she's like, so? I'm like, I've only read one book. Think topic is Chives is Charles alive? Is he well? Destiny.
I mean, those are two completely different things.
Yeah, alive and well or not. Those are two different things.
I don't know if Destiny reads books. A lot of Wikipedia articles, but yeah, I don't know.
Mormons ruined publishing too. We ruin it all. You're not allowed to. We see men having fun and we're like, not for you. So is that it? Is that it, guys? Come on.
Oh, come on. We need
You
a
can-
fifth.
You can draw
One
things.
more person.
Dildo, come on. Unless that's you.
Dildo, Creamage. Ah.
Cumbledore. A lovely name.
Okay, we've got Melanie Mack and Cumbledore. Hell yeah.
Must have never taught me how to read. Davina has read a book once. Gay.
That's better.
Syl Bosby. Kill Bosby, sorry, I don't know. I'm up and down doing chores and whatnot. Okay, fine, Creamage. Fuck.
Fine. Well, we got 6. I was hoping for 5, so yeah, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
we good. Are we ready, guys?
I think so.
Let's go. So if anyone wants to use Creamage in their prompt, this is what he looks like.
Kind of like Filthy Frank. I get you.
No.
Kinda. Ooh.
Oh,
Well.
where's my pen?
Huh.
Oh, is it bad? If it's bad, you just say no, thank you. If it's a bad idea.
Kind of bad, but I think I can do this.
Okay.
Still a
Oh,
bad
well,
idea.
you know what would help is if I was fucking plugged in.
Yeah, that tends to help.
Okay.
Hey, it sounds like something's recognized.
Yes. No, I'm just gonna have to use my mouse for a second. This is mousing. Ooh. There we go. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Oopsie. Oopsie.
Okay, you got about a quarter of your time remaining, so hopefully you used it wisely. I forgot to announce any part of the time.
Oh,
Good times.
okay. I guess that's it. I'll have to use my mouth. Yeah, you're having a good time. A honky tonk. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing. That's what I think.
And you got about a third of your time remaining.
Where do we put this? Keyboard stay down here.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, it makes a comeback. I guess I'll have to put this here. Oh god, really? Sorry guys, I lost my window. Here we go.
No, not the window.
A window to the soul.
You lost your eyes?
I dotted them. See what I did there? Okay. There.
That's about a third of your time.
Where. Oh, Miss Charles.
That's just under half your time.
Oh shit. I forgot. I didn't see the prompt. Shit. Maybe I should draw with a bigger pen. Maybe that'll make it
Not the
funnier.
size of the pen.
It's how you.
Oh, it's how you use it. No. No! Oh. Who's here?
We got Charles.
Charles! Hi,
What?
Charles.
How very dare you, Dorcas, with that hat?
He's bringing it back.
Charlie.
Morning.
Oh, hi. I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, well, I'm not going to live up to any of that hype.
Bring what?
I will not bring happiness.
Wait, you did. You brought it. Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry. I fell asleep. I'm happy I made it.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do another round of drawing for you.
And again, Atheist Gamer is correct in the debate going on in the chat.
Oh, we're using the G word in the chat, huh? Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Welcome. I like this. I like this prompt. Oopsie.
Hail?
Hail. One of the plagues.
You mean the weather?
Mhm.
Oh my god, I'm not awake yet.
Me neither.
Sure, you're not.
Nerd.
Hey, Charles.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on the marketplace of ideas now that you're not awake?
I'm not that not awake. It's everything's pretty. I know you were joking, but
Not really.
there's a lot of nuance. If you meet someone
A
for
lot
the
of
first time,
ends. A lot of outs.
yeah, I don't know. People have different levels of seriousness and importance in things they say, and not everyone knows that.
And so it's like it's your responsibility to figure out what
Yeah.
value there is.
Whose responsibility?
Mm.
The receiver of the information or the giver of the information?
Receiver. Is
I heard
'cause
T2.
T2.
Judgment Day. I don't know. I swear somebody said T2. There's a quarter of your time remaining. Hopefully
Hey.
you got stuff done. I don't.
You guys can't tell whether I'm using my mouse or my keyboard. I mean my.
Yeah, I
Charles
screwed
is
this up.
Yeah, Charles, we had candles burning for you and everything.
What? Is that serious?
Yeah.
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 Lore, you
You
passed
died.
away.
It's
He is
well,
risen!
Happy Easter.
We hope that you were resting peacefully, was all.
A little too peacefully.
Okay, let's hear this.
Destiny reads Twilight.
Twilight.
Oh,
I love
Whoa.
sea.
I love sea valleys.
Okay.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh.
Illuminati Ironheart leap over river in between mountains.
Yeah, I got
Sleeping.
distracted. I'm sorry.
Nah.
That works.
It does not.
Zach's reading a novel secretly.
A novel. Oh. Oh,
is he in a
sorry.
closet?
Zach's delivers a fig pamphlet to a household.
A fig pamphlet.
Yeah. The house is
Angry House does not like hipsters' new iPhone.
Melanie Mac gets it.
Hipster's got a beard and everything. What does that say there?
That says
Tarot.
receipt.
What?
Supposed to say receipt.
Oh.
Oh. Bringing the receipts.
The angry house. So we had
PT
angry.
purchases an idea from the marketplace.
Oh, one, please.
Just one.
A
It
cat
was
asking for one ideas at the kiosk.
One idea, please. What? Meow.
Vote peasant purchases idea fro.
Bro.
Upvote peasant.
Perfect.
A large waffle eating a larger pancake with hair.
With hair.
I forgot the hair.
Okay,
Oh.
that's hair. Mm.
Wow.
I mean, it's
A
syrup.
waffle eating pancakes.
I forgot that. I thought they were fighting.
Waffle
It's so
eating
cute.
pancakes.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean,
Whoa.
Bad.
getting the idea across.
Yeah. It
Great
worked.
job, Cumbledore.
Kangaroo robbing an orphanage.
Oh, sorry, guys. I fucked this one up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Give me money.
And irate True robs babies from Brothers Orphanage.
Oh, brothers orphanage. Okay.
It's a
Kangaroo
shame it's not a
steals baby.
dingo.
I didn't realize that it said orphanage.
Yeah. Not a good sign.
What a
look at the structure. He raises the eggs. You see how it records your strokes?
beg
Anyway.
your
Yeah.
pardon?
What, you've never recorded strokes, Joe?
A firehouse burning down.
A firehouse. Oh, okay.
Oh.
How?
Yeah, I screwed this up.
House creature burning to death.
Oh.
Screecher.
Help! I'm dying.
Angry house mad it's dying to fire.
It's mad.
Yeah, that looks mad to me.
Charles,
Grr.
I put the link in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
private chat.
I'm awaiting.
It looks like Chuckle Hut is awaiting
Oh, he's
our
there.
next
Okay.
game.
New turn. Let's go. Do you guys want to do normal? Shame. Yeah, I suppose we could.
Sure. If
Missing
anyone
Pete.
else out there wants to join really quickly, do it.
Yeah, you got time.
Did anything
Yeah,
spicy
okay, I'll
happen
do
when
this.
you were talking about the marketplace of ideas?
we just went through. No,
No.
nothing with us.
Ooh,
Somebody joined.
we've got a celebrity that joined.
Creeper. Okay, let's do a normal. Okay. Just do normal missionary.
I don't have any of today's lore.
Marketplace
There
of
was a
ideas.
marketplace. Yeah.
Marketplace. Asking if people had kissed girls.
Oh,
Donuts.
I've done that. Donuts.
I don't know. I ate a donut.
Did you like it?
Yes.
yeah, basically the lore you need to know is that you passed away. In this,
Oh no!
in this thing.
Again?
And that's, the bulk of it.
Whoa, whoa! I don't know what this
Uh-oh.
thing looks like.
I don't know
Oh,
things.
I might be wrong. Although,
Right?
yeah, I don't know what this thing is.
I don't know how to do this.
So we're all good then?
Shit.
I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
I watched way
Sweet.
too much stuff on this thing, and I should know what this word means.
Draw episode
Oh.
1. You're good.
Charles, did you
M count.
Ugh.
Charles,
Yes.
did you approve of the latest? I was going to say How I Met Your Mother, the latest Last of Us.
Yeah. Why? What's the problem this time?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. What is the problem?
It was pretty powerful, actually. This most recent one, episode 6.
It does what you said it was going to do.
Yeah. They make someone look a little bit deep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not perfect, which
But
I never
it
thought they were.
hit
But
the notes you said it was gonna.
yeah, I'm a badass, aren't I?
I was like, and also what I did was I went and rewatched the first season,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me understand it better.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because
This
it
is
also
not
made me
looking-
remember that I did actually like Ellie in the first season. Like I actually did like her.
I don't know how much you know, but if they're going the same way the game, there's something that they haven't set up well enough. If we're only one episode left and something's gonna happen, if it's going to happen in the show, they didn't really set that up too well.
Good night, gamer. So maybe it's not happening?
Maybe.
Things are different.
Sure.
I did my best. And it's shit.
Ooh.
Okay. Interesting. That's hard.
Whoa, that was fast. What?
What? Okay. You haven't sung to us, Charles.
I'm
Yeah,
not even
Charles.
awake. I'm still
We were
dead.
promised a serenade. Come on.
Mhm.
Who promised that?
I might have told chat you would if you showed up, but it's hard to remember exactly who said it.
Who could say?
Oh. So, Charles, do you think America should solve South Africa's problems?
Well, if they're white. No, I don't know. It just what I see is they're kicking some people out and then pulling some people in, and it's just I don't. The optics are weird. That's all.
I don't see why it's why they're interested.
Well, because they
But-
have a new gap in the market where there's a bunch of brown people out. So free white people. Are you from South Africa? Oh wait, what color are you? Because that's kind of important to this. No, I don't know. I don't know enough. I just know the wording was weird, and apparently that all happened in front of the South African president at the White House.
Yeah. No, it was kind of like, hey, answer. Why is this shit happening in your country?
Wow.
And then there were other. What's happening? Here's my ideas. I want to get into the Philo Bro debate. Ryan, save your hearts. AT&T. What? Oh, that's funny.
What happened?
What's happening tomorrow? Philo Bro.
What's happening?
I don't know.
What?
Can you help Jojo? I think he's sick, Tony. Sick, Tony. Yeah, sure, kid. I'll fix him right up. for
What
you.
is happening?
I don't know. I'm just reading chat, which is.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Okay. The okay, there we go. Have you tried not killing the boer?
Yes.
That'll help your country. Just don't kill people. Have you guys tried like not doing crime and shit as well? Oh goodness. Okay. Where'd you get that idea? The idea store? Sorry, I want to watch
wrong with the idea store?
Anchorman.
I want to
Are we
read.
not supposed to go to the idea store anymore?
I'm not awake. I don't have all the information, and I'm trying to be slightly jestful. Poorly,
You
so I do agree with
jestful?
that.
Surely you've heard of the idea store before, though, right?
Hmm.
No? Okay.
Couldn't afford it as an idea. Ba-bum.
So, a lighter topic. Apparently, the folks at Skydance are only allowing positive reviews to be past the embargo. They're not letting bad reviews out on Mission Impossible. They're only allowing if they're positive reviews, which is fucking
Okay.
bad news.
That's
As-
That
bad.
sounds kind of cool.
As someone who's seen it, I know why they're a little worried.
You're saying it's the greatest ever?
I'm saying if you have to leave early, your time is going to be dramatically different.
So I'm not going to go and see it then. Should I go and see
What?
Lilo and Stitch instead?
Probably.
I've heard good things about Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, but they detransified it, so it's not woke.
Oh no.
Wait, I don't know how this works anymore, but it's Disney, so wait, what? My brain hurts.
I'm sorry, Charles, for what you are probably going to see.
You and my hat is all I need to see to get me properly.
So I saw that Shad has seen it. He said it's the most stupid movie. I haven't watched his
Which
Mission Impossible or
Wait, he's
other one?
besmirching Lilo and Stitch?
No, not Lilo and Stitch. Mission Impossible. It
Okay.
seems like Drinker enjoyed it. Considering that he's like it's insanity and I like it, so he's allowed out of the embargo, I suppose.
the second half is pretty
Donuts at the
mesmerizing.
waffle rally.
Oh, donuts.
Oh.
I did have multiple donuts. That is my bad.
Donut does a strike against waffles in front of them.
Yeah, that's the same fucking thing. I like it.
Waffle is upset by Pancake's no waffle protest.
It's a pancake now. No waff.
I like it.
Melanie really knows how to draw.
Birthday month at Lightbulb Store.
Oh,
You might want to watch Open
Oh.
Bar. Oh, so does he not like it? Okay.
Storefront of LEDs. Birthday number 123,456.
Perfect.
Electronics store has a Black Friday sale on light emitting.
Light emitting
whoa.
lights. What?
I think it's
What's
perfect.
Shaq?
Which Charles is real and which is the clone meme.
Ooh.
Preach. Ah,
Charles meets Bizarro Charles. Confusion ensues.
Oh, why did I say eat?
oh, you idiot. And what? Why do I look
A
like a
boy
churro?
eating pancakes.
Oh, is that what I got at the end? Oh, that's not me.
Yay! That's Charles meeting Bizarro Charles.
I didn't need it.
Which one of me is a damn cannibal?
Oh shit.
Bad ideas being sold in the black market.
Oh.
Place of ideas.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh shit.
My bad.
Selling
Brown-haired woman unsatisfied with shit idea sold to her.
Oh.
What's the bright idea? Idea store sells color to people.
Oh,
Red, please.
Come on, I got it right.
I said that because everything else was black and white, but the person with the light bulb was colored in. It was like Pleasantville.
Very autistic.
I remember that movie.
Thread Almi raises the banner on the Reichstag.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't remember if that's the Reichstag or what. With the horses on
The
top.
Pinko commies take over Washington,
Yeah,
D.C.
see, I fucked up. Literally pink.
Pac-Man ghost conquers White House in name of communism.
Comrades! White House now! Oh, shit, I'm just downloading that.
I like that each one of us had a different building. Nobody knows what the Reichstag is.
I'm glad. What's the...
Pim Tool plays music.
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come on, it's Timcast IRL.
Pim Tool playing the ukulele.
Yeah.
That's close enough.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Kind of looks like
sorry about the
Whoa.
offense this will cause.
Stephen Charles sings of his favorite A24 movies.
Great.
Why does my hat always change?
and you become, he gets a curly mustache because he's evil.
It's not evil me. Evil me is Tim Pool.
Evil Charles sings it. Yeah, he wears a hat. It works. It makes sense.
Somebody was talking about Civil War. It's either Charles talking about one of his favorite A24 films or Pim Tool. I wasn't sure.
It was a good movie.
Awesome.
I enjoyed it. Right, guys, that it has been a good old time. Charles, are you for the marketplace of ideas, or would you like to shut it all down?
Oh no, we need to hear each other. At its essence, we need to hear each other, and if anything, to figure out this person's crazy.
Yes, yeah. So
If
that we
anything.
can figure out. Yeah, let us find each other. Find out
Right.
who is who. Yeah. All right. What's happening on everybody's channels and stuff?
Well, on my channel, people won't really know anything's important until a week and a day away. Oh, a week and 2 days if you're in America. Well, a week and a day if you're on the East Coast, because it's officially Friday. So the
Yeah.
31st, big half year content coming out. Supporters of the channel have access to it now. It might be tweaked a little bit, but it's done. So I could focus on other things. Which, Kite, we have to talk about something, and that might be
yes.
on the horizon.
Okay. We shall discuss. Now that you've had a nap, but we'll discuss backstage. You guys don't get any of that. Gray, you have some things coming up, or has it already come out? Sorry, I've been away.
Things in the near future. It's taken longer than it should, but stuff soon. Channel will be back from the dead, I swear.
We hear. We're all waiting.
Yeah, other than that, on the internet a lot. You can probably find me. Probably not worth it. But hey, Dorcas, what you got going on, sir?
My usual stuff.
Which is
What
the
if
No
you're
One
new to
Asked
this channel?
podcast.
Base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The No One Asked You podcast. Featuring me sometimes.
Woo.
And also he's talking about Dune when he gets to stream. Me, I will be streaming later. I'll finish the, what do we call it?
Porn.
The
Gay
thing
porn.
no, the thing that has really upset me the whole week.
Gay porn.
talking about gay porn is fun. No, talking about American interventionism. I guess we'll talk a little bit more about South Africa and stuff there
more
as well.
lighter topics.
Yeah. But also just keep in terms of, I know that I owe a lot of videos. I understand. And I'm sorry, they're coming, I promise. What I am going to do is I'm going to be changing up the schedule. So I'm going to not be streaming on Wednesdays, because lately I've been streaming every day. But I think Wednesdays will be video days. So we'll take those off. It'll mean slower diagrams, but the point is...
Don't go into content debt. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 3-4 videos in content debt. If I finish today's diagram, I mean, I'm actually much more than that, because there's so many things that I said I would do that I have not done. So I appreciate your patience, everybody. As usual.
What's the interest rate?
Oh, it's obscene.
It's not really nearly as bad as regular debt. That's true. Don't do that.
Sure.
But yeah, so look out for that. I'll see you guys later. I'm sorry I didn't stream yesterday, but you know what? It's better for everybody that I didn't. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Dildo's asked about the interest rate.
North of 80%.
Thanks.
Wow.
Thanks for that. And yeah, look out for members only poll for Thinks at some point. You members will be able to decide what on a certain look. We'll give you the options, but you'll be able to vote on which Think comes when. So enjoy that. Have a nice life. I'll see you guys later. And